Hey, 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 come on in, come on in, come on in, honor students, come on in. We have a lot of lessons to learn today. Come on in. We got some things to talk about. Listen, I've been studying. I got my notes. I couldn't even do the walk and talk. It's too much. It's too much. Then y'all be wanting me to read the comments and I'm trying to down walk, talk, chew gum, tie my shoes, be in the comments and and go over notes. So y'all come on in. Come on in. We're gonna have a sit and chill day today. Come on in. Make sure you hit the like button. Hey Andrew, how are you? Hit the like button for me, please. Welcome. Where are you? Yeah, we got a lot. I got a lot of notes. Yeah, I be in the lab. Yeah, when I be coming on these lives, I be coming with it. I be coming with it. It's just so much going on right now. And I'm like, I gotta bring it to the people because y'all know most of the time, the media is going to be filled with a lot of doom and gloom. Okay, you in Buffalo, never been to Buffalo. Welcome, welcome. I'm in Georgia. I am in Metro Atlanta, right outside of the city of Atlanta in the burbs. So welcome. You all, please come on in, hit the like button. We got a lot of things to talk about. Listen, engage in the chat. It might get a little crazy. Y'all know how it go. Many of you may have been to one of my lives before. Welcome back. Those of you who may be new, welcome, welcome. It can get a little crazy over here. It can get a little crazy over here, but that's okay. We get through it. Talk your talk. Just be respectful. Andrew, you say you have a cousin that lives here. Awesome. Yes, Georgia, Georgia. I like Georgia. I'm from California, the Bay Area, but Georgia is where I currently live, what's home to me now, for me and my family. So you all come on in, hit the like button for me as you come on in. We'll see how long I can stay outside because it's kind of warm out here. But come on in, you all. I got some things I want to get into. We're going to talk about Trump and these doggone tariffs that got people clutching their invisible pearls. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about these companies who are like, okay, player, okay, I didn't heard you. Damn. All right, then. Now, what you want me to do? What you want me to make up here? Where you want me to set up shop? Damn. Y'all know you get anybody's attention when you hit them pockets. Y'all know how it go. It ain't no different with the rich. It ain't no different. You hit anybody pockets, you gonna get their attention. And Trump is getting a lot of people's attention with the T word. The T word. We'll say the T word. Y'all, I don't even be putting the T word in my title because I think YouTube be playing with me. They be playing with me. I don't know if they be playing with me. So I don't be putting that in there. But we do be talking about it. We do be talking. We do be talking. Even though it ain't in my title, we do be talking. We gonna talk about that T word. That T word that got people saying, all right then, and play it. Damn, you gotta go that hard. You gotta do 25. You couldn't do 5 on it. You couldn't put 5 on it. No. You know how they say you start. What they say you start. I don't know what's high or low to him, but he like, no, 25 sounds like a good number. 25 sounds like a good number. Y'all come on in here, hit the like button, as you come on in. Y'all have some act right, because you will get blocked. Y'all know anybody who been in my channel know my mods don't play. It's about 3 of them. It's about 3 of them. They will get you all the way together. I'm probably known more for my mods. Probably the message that I be saying over here. Because my mom, listen, they don't play about me. So half the nonsense that come up in here, I don't even see it. They protect my peace. That's how we keep the show going. And you guys can still continue to get this good energy. So come on in here. Have some act right. Hit the like button for starters. Double tap the screen. Like it just tap. Just tap, tap. You see what it tap, tap. 2 times, it's probably going to get you together. You'll see that it liked the video. Come on in here. We got some things to talk about. Comments. It can get crazy in this chat. Y'all early. We at 71 right now. Child, it can get up there. So them comments be commenting. If you want to get my attention with anything, I'd say put some color in this chat. That just means it's a super chat. I can see it because it's in color. when it gets crazy and a lot of people get in here, it is not possible for me to see every last comment. Y'all, like, in the commenting, be commenting. So Sheik's live is no, listen, it don't be, everybody got something to say. Everybody got something to say, and I'm here for it. Put some color in the chat if there's a comment that you want me to read out loud where you like, yo, I need Sheik to answer this. She talking all this yin yang. I need for her to answer this. Put some color in the chat. I'll see the super chat. Dollar amount don't matter, but I can see it. Y'all see how this works? Let's go. Let's go. Trump threatens tariffs on European and Canada. Listen. The new prime minister over in Canada already having to, y'all ever have to start a new job? And on your first day, you be like, oh, this some bull. This ain't what they told me in the interview. This is not what they told me. This ain't what they told me. Y'all got what going on? And I need to be responsible for cleaning up what? Because old boy did. Well, yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, I mean, you're the new, you're in charge now. I mean, but damn, he did that because y'all know how you walk up in situation and it's just already effed up, and now people looking at you like, what you gonna do? And you just got here. You first gotta gather your bearings to figure out what the F went on, what happened from the previous situation, because people looking for you to just fix it. Let's see, your first day on Monday. Oh, they need for you to have that ish fixed by Friday. Y'all know how these companies be acting. The Canadian new prime minister, he just stepped up into some ish, and now he got to try to figure out what the. But listen, you know who can relate to stepping up into some ish? Trump. Trump can relate to stepping up into some ish because that's exactly what he did, and we're gonna talk about it. I got some numbers for you. I got some numbers for you because Trump has definitely inherited some ish. He has, and it be like that. It be like that. And sometimes we can't sit and worry about what happened, what the previous person did. We know we just got to roll up our sleeves and just get in there and fix it. And that's kind of where we are right now. I call it on this channel growing pains because it's a lot of stuff that's popping off that people like, ooh, that hurt. I don't like that, including myself. I talk about it. I talk about the stuff that I'm like, okay, but it's growing pains. Ish was just effed up when he inherited, came into the position as president. So he has to try to kind of undo a lot of stuff. And the question is, can everything that's been done be undone just within his 4-year run as or term as president? I don't know, y'all, but we're going to talk about how effed up stuff is, but we're also going to talk about solutions and ways and how we're about to get to it, to try to see better days, because the goal is to try to see better days, because at the end of the day, that's all any of us can do is just try to just produce something better. And I do truly feel like that is what President Trump is working towards, to try to do something better, because she's effed up. I don't know who told you otherwise, but ish is effed up. So let's get into it. Let me tell you how it's effed up. Y'all hit that like button. Like, share, and subscribe. We're growing over here. It was just yesterday where I was like, go to 1,000, child. By the time Sunday Live ended and 39,000 people came through, we was definitely well over the 1,000 subscribers. So you all continue to come on over here, subscribe, like, if you're interested in talking about politics and what the F is going on. Listen, come over here because we talk about it. We work together to try to understand, because this is a place of understanding. I call us the honor students because it's about asking questions, elevating, and just trying to learn, just to elevate ourselves. So Trump threatens more tariffs on the European Union and Canada. So many of you may know, some of you may not. Come April 2nd, I call that D-Day. April 2nd, 25% tariffs tacked onto all automobile companies who make their vehicles outside of the USA. So on imports. So if you are a maker and you make your outside of the USA, you got 25% additional tariff like tacked on to whatever you may have already got going on, because some of these countries already have tariffs on them, like Canada has like I think they maybe be at, not Canada, China might be at a 20% tariff by now, but whatever you already had going on, okay, so we finna put 25 on top of that. So that's effective April 2nd. So this is what Trump had to say. If they, meaning they is the European Union and Canada, if they do anything that is an economic harm to the USA, larger tariffs will be placed onto them in order to protect the best friend that each of those countries have ever had. So Trump is like, listen, Canada, Europe, y'all know y'all ain't never had it better than us. So I don't even know why y'all playing. Y'all know how y'all be in a relationship and that person you with want to act like they can do better when you know you the best they ever had. You player. You know you ain't never had better than me. So I don't even know. Listen, player. You know you ain't never had better than this. You know that energy? When you know you popping, you like, if you don't, you know when you get at that person, that side eye, when they think that they can go and do something better and you know otherwise, tried and tested. That's the energy that Trump got on these people. He's like, listen, don't. Come on now. Bruh. Y'all know we need to sell bite. Bruh. Sit down. So that's the energy. That's the energy that Trump has when it comes to these other countries. He was like, y'all ain't finna have it better than what y'all got with us. What are y'all doing? PM, Prime Minister, I know you new in your little position or whatever, but that's all right. But we need to have a conversation because I'm finna help you get acclimated to your new position. And that's going to encompass you playing nice with me. You see how this work? You playing nice with me. So 25% on all auto imports effective April 2nd. And this is supposed to be permanently. So this ain't no like temporary stuff. This is like, okay, permanently, meaning as long as you're still making products and things outside of the U.S., this is going to be the situation. You finna see this 25%. So y'all know how when you get your bill and you see your, that tax, wherever you live, it might be 6%, 7%, whatever that tax. And hell, if you live in Florida, you ain't even gonna see no tax. They don't have state tax, but that little tax that you see. Well, it's gonna be another line for tariff, so it's gonna have that 25% on top of all them other charges that you already normally see. So that's effective April 2nd. How will the automobile companies adjust to this? So here's the thing: when this takes place, naturally, the price of these goods are going to go up, right? Because somebody got to absorb this extra increase. I've heard on average we're looking at maybe about another $12,000 on top of vehicles. That's a lot of money. $12,000 on top of vehicles. I'm already hearing people all on their TikToks crying, talking about how their car notes looking like mortgage payments. And you best believe these people crying about their car notes looking like mortgage payments. These people still, they got roommates. They don't even own no house. Like, I'm pretty sure every probably person I've seen a video of, because I've heard them talk about how much their cars cost. These people ain't no homeowners because a homeowner would know better, right? A homeowner would know better. A homeowner would not be on social media complaining about their $1,000, $1,200 car payment. It's something about somebody who's purchasing a home. They mind. They think a little different than somebody who put money on a car versus buying a home and go live in the house. Y'all see, it's just a different kind of mindset. I don't know. Listen, I ain't judging. I'm just saying, y'all know them, somebody who got that renter, but I'm gonna go buy the $100,000 car and park it in front of my apartment at the complex. That folks be breaking up. Now you know when you live in the hood. I don't know why people be going and buying these cars acting like they don't know where they live. You know your zip code. Talking about gentrification. Your zip code have not been gentrified. I don't even know why you playing. I don't even know why you playing. But all right then. So now your car gone. Your car gone. You shouldn't have had it sitting out there anyway. That could have been your down payment money for a house. So you got people already out here complaining about car notes already being crazy high. And this is pre-tariffs. Pre-tariffs, people are complaining about the car notes. Remember, these car notes are based off, it's coming from like a percentage, the breakdown of however much the car is plus your taxes. And then we're going to break it down and see, okay, based off of that, now we're going to figure out how much you should pay every month. You see how that works? Now you got to have, like, say, I'm going to say probably right now, your average car probably going to be running probably around $40,000. So let's just say 50, we up to about $52,000 now on that vehicle. So with the $40,000 vehicle, we probably was already about at 900. We was already at around 900 with the $40,000 vehicle. So now we up to 5,200. How much more money? Let me think, cause y'all math ain't, listen. Math ain't ever been my best subject, but let me do some math. Let me see. If we're going up about $12,000 more on a vehicle, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we can look to expect about another 250-ish on a car note. About another 250, maybe even 300 on top of the car note. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out. But either way, everybody already on a I ain't got it. And this is before a tariff. A lot of people didn't even know what a tariff was up until the Trump administration. I know I didn't. When I learned about a tariff, that's when I started going live to talk about, y'all know about tariffs, because I'm just now learning about tariffs. Come on, let's learn about it together, because this is finna impact us, so we might as well learn together. we might as well, we Mr. Rogers neighborhood over here. We learning together. Come on, boys and girls. We have to learn about this ish because it's impacting all of us. It's impacting you. It's handing it out like Oprah's favorite things in December. Y'all remember back on the Oprah show, she used to give out the favorite thing. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. You get a box of donuts, you get a box of donuts, you get a box of donuts. You get tariffs. So what's happening is that this tariff thing, no one's exempt from it. This tariff thing is not only, it's not even a U.S. thing. This tariff thing is a worldwide thing. Y'all remember when the C-19 was a worldwide thing? That's how this tariff situation is. Trump has gotten so gangster, y'all, to where with, I think it's Venezuela. He just said, I think Venezuela, I don't really do business with y'all on that type of level. But what I'm about to do is I'm about to hit the people, the countries that do business with you. For example, so we don't really do, I think it's Venezuela, because y'all, these countries, they start mixing and merging together to me. Venezuela, we don't really do a lot of business with them, but they do a good number of business, I think, with oil and things with China and Canada. I think those are the main ones they do business with. So Trump is like, anybody, any country that does business with that country, Venezuela, I think with the oil and things like that, I'm going to tack on another 25% tariff just because you're doing business with the op. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all know how you catch strays. I talk about on this channel all the time, people catching strays. Oh, these countries catching strays. He was like, all right, then you can go play around with the op if you want to. Go play around with the op if you want to. I got something for you. I got something for you. You got an extra 25% on it. I know you running around talking about how deep your pockets is. Okay, are your pockets deep enough to take on another 25%? That is how he's handling Venezuela. So what's going to happen? It's going to have it with his intent. What the intent is for these other countries when it comes to doing business with Venezuela, they got to be like, damn, like, all right, Venezuela, I mean, you cool and all, but shit, like, I'm cool with the U.S. too, and they talking about if I come over here and do this little deal with you, they finna mess up my bag over here, so I don't know, I gotta pray about it, because I can't mess up my bag over here because I'm trying to do a little something with you, so I gotta really think about what's the stronger relationship. How many of y'all ever been in a situation to where you in between a situation and you got to think like, damn, what's the stronger relationship? Because this person over here, they feeling this type of way that I'm rocking with this person over here. But this person over here, like, I got more to lose if I kind of piss them off. Like, I got to kind of still keep them good. But damn, I do want to F with this person over here. But I probably can't do it right now. That's the situation that some of these countries are going to be in because Trump is impacting them as a result of them doing business with somebody that he not cool with. You see what I'm saying? So he's like, I'm not cool with them. So basically, I don't want you to be cool with them. Listen, some people calling it bullying. They calling him the world bully. I don't know. The question is it working? Is it working? It remains to be seen. But some of this ish is showing that it's working because I'm going to tell y'all some of these companies who have already signed up to go ahead and come over here because of the tariffs. So it's working it's working for some, not all right now. Canada, like, F you, they saying that in English and French. And they probably got some other languages over there that they saying it in, but I know they saying it in English and French. F you. That is what the new PM is saying. It's just like, the new PM is like, listen, While you saying you got to do what you got to do for yours, guess what, bro? We got to do we got to do what we got to do for ours. And I promise you, it's going to be far worse for you than us. Listen, that's what the new PM saying. The new PM said, listen, he's saying it with his chest. What his name? Because he popping out. He popping out on day one. You know how you get that new job, you got to show him who the new sheriff in town, even though Ish effed up. But you like, I know Ish effed up, but y'all give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Y'all got somebody new in town, somebody new that's going to get it together. But just give me a minute. And it's going to start with maybe cleaning up some ish, cleaning out house. So that's the energy that I'm getting from that new prime minister. Let me see. I have wrote down. Let me see. I got all these notes, you all, because there's so much I want to cover today in this live. There's a lot going on. His name is Mark Carney. Mark Carney said, listen here, he said, I will respond in a way that will protect Canada. I repeat, I will respond in a way that will protect Canada. So you got two leaders that got this same energy, like, listen, nuck if you buck. Y'all know about that nuck if you buck energy? Nuck if you buck. Y'all, I wish y'all know YouTube be playing, if we can play that in the background. Nuck if you buck. Hashtag nuck if you buck. That is, everybody got the nuck if you buck energy. And I'm like, Jesus. For y'all who don't know what nuck if you buck mean, that just means that, listen, you can start something if you want to. You start something if you want to. you gonna do that? Oh, okay, I got one better for you. That's that energy. That one upper energy. Oh, you gonna do that? Oh, all right, then I got you. I'm about to do this. Oh, that's what you want? Oh, that's the time you want? Oh, okay, I got something for you, player. I got something for you, player. That's what the PM over in Canada said in English and French. He did do a news conference, and that mofo spoke in English and French. In a suit. In a suit. He sure did. He sure did. So, listen, they over there, Canada over there, standing on business too, just like Trump over here standing on business. So, listen, everybody trying to protect theirs. Everybody is trying to protect theirs. So I understand, when it comes from a leadership aspect, what that means to kind of protect the best interests of yours, because that is what it's about. I will say it is just a sad situation that we're here, that everybody's feeling like they got to be in defense mode. You know what I'm saying? Especially Canada and U.S., when normally historically they've been allies. Now it's like this day is here where one's over here, one's over here. And it's a very sad day because, like, damn, who is our friend now? Who is our friend? Let's talk about that. Who is our friend? Because, like, 2 seconds ago, Canada was our friend. They were our friend. Europe was our friend. But I'm feeling like we ain't got no friends, y'all. Like, I'm feeling like we ain't got no friends. Y'all put in the comments who are friends. And as y'all do that, please like the video. It's 152 of you all in here. Please hit the like button. Double tap the screen. Who is our friends? Please drop it down. Who are our allies? I want to know, because right now it's given that we ain't got no friends at the sandbox. Everybody done left. Everybody done took their ball and left. And we playing by ourselves. But that's all right. Some of you only children know what it's like to just be by your dang self. And you like, I turned out fine. I turned out fine. So that's the situation we are in with that. Expect the cost of vehicles to go up. Also, the vehicle makers, these dealerships, they can expect for their sales to also drop. Because guess what? The average person is likely to be like, well, I don't have that extra, say, $12,000 to drop on that truck, on that car, on that that electric vehicle. I ain't got it. Listen, everybody on that Tasha K, I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Everybody hollering, I ain't got it. What do you do? Because these makers, the vehicles, they're like, well, dang, we got to recoup our money, so we got to assess the charge on you. And then we're like, well, hell, I don't have to buy from you. I can go over here and just get my vehicle over here where they not dealing with the whole tariff things, because that's what people are going to do. People are going to be forced to have to really read the fine print and pay attention to where these goods are made, because it's going to make a difference on the price. Some people are not going to find that brand worth paying the extra for. They'll just go move around. You go find you another brand, right? You don't, it's always pretty much in anything out there, there's more than one maker of it. You might be used to just purchasing or doing business with this one brand, maker, whatever. But there's other ones out there. There's other ones out there. You just got to move around and do your research. And I think more people are starting to do that now because things are so expensive. Y'all know we down bad when you Uber Eats offering payment plans. You know you down bad when you place in an Uber Eat order and you need to exercise that Klarna option, the Klarna, Klarna, that option where you can break your bill up into 4 payments. I don't know if they be advertising, interest free, or if they be interest only. Maybe it depends on what the deal is that's going on. But yes, Uber Eats, when you place it, I never even liked the daggone Uber. I ain't that dang lazy to be paying an extra $12. Because y'all know it's already expensive. And then to be lazy, they going to tack on that extra fee. And y'all know they be looking for a doggone tip. So you done ordered you Chick-fil-A. Your meal already, if you just walked up in there, is going to be about $10. But you choosing to use Uber Eats because you don't want out of bed, you don't want to leave the house. So now that $10 meal has turned into $18. That $10 meal then turned into about $18. Come on, y'all can talk about it because a lot of y'all probably be lazy and be utilizing them services because you too lazy to go get it yourself. I ain't never been too lazy to be paying an extra service fee for somebody to come bring something to my door like that. Y'all, I'm not even a drive-through person that'll sit in a long drive-through line versus getting out. Y'all, some of y'all might be that person. Y'all will sit in that drive-through line because y'all don't want to get out and go talk to somebody inside of their building. I'm not that girl. I am not that girl. Clearly, I will look like I'm lazy. That's because I be moving. I don't look like I just sit in one spot, right? Because I get the steps in. So I'm not, my laziness is not on that level. It's just not. So you got a lot of people now where I ain't got it. All right, you send this McDonald's bill finna be $20 because I got to feed the household. Y'all, okay, you send us $20. All right, then, so y'all, I see y'all offering the payment plan. So y'all, people finna be literally breaking out that $20 bill into 4 payments. I'm not even making this issue up. Y'all can look into it yourself. Go on and look into it yourself. They offering payment plans on the Uber Eats. It is what it is. Listen, times are hard. Let me tell y'all also, though. It's so much, y'all. Let me tell y'all also how times are hard. My husband, we went into today, we went into the side of a pawn shop and we were looking at pew-pews because, he's wanting me to, have my own personal one. So we're looking at them. So I'm walking around and I see all these wedding rings, like a whole bunch of wedding rings. I'm like, damn, like, y'all, it's looking like Kay's jewelry up in there. I'm like women, you have men wedding bands, but you had a lot of women wedding rings on, nice rings, y'all. I tried on a couple of them. They were like, yes, they were like, a lot of people are coming in pawning their wedding rings because, listen, he was like, time, because of his words was because of the economy. So if any of y'all out here moving on, the economy is Gucci and it ain't that bad. I don't know who you listen to, but you definitely need to be subscribed over here and listen to what I tell you because I be coming with the receipts. The economy is effed. Listen to me. The economy is effed. He said people are coming in pawning their rings. He was like, those, that jewelry, the things they don't need anymore. When he said they don't need it, I equated to Brenda Lighthill. I done got rid of that man 2 years ago. I got bills to be paid. What I'm holding on to this ring for? Some of them probably still married to the person they like, and the marriage been over with anyway 5-10 years ago. When I'm walking around, he ain't wearing his. Why I need to wear mine? I'm about to go pawn this bee and get me some change. I got to feed my kids. Y'all. Nice rings. Rings that will be valued at, I think the first one I tried on, he said in the store it'd be valued about, if you buy it at about $4,000, they'd sell it for like $2,000. They'd sell it for probably like $2,000. Nice rings. It was a lot of rings. He was like, come back in a week. I'm gonna have more. He was like, overnight they just started getting a whole bunch, because he was like, before we didn't have a lot of rings like this. He was like, but overnight people been coming in pawning like all the rings that I was seeing, y'all, it was them new style. I can tell these are rings, you all, that people bought within the last 5-10 years. I can tell the style of the rings because I look at jewelry a lot. I look at, there's been times over the years where I want look into like wanting to change out my ring and things. I'm always looking at rings. I take my ring to get service. So I'm always looking at rings. So I know the styles of like the new pieces. Y'all, these was new pieces. And y'all know these marriages don't be lasting long. So them women have been like, F that, Charles out here playing games. He's slanging D. He running around on me. F that. I'm finna go take this thing ring and I need me a new car anyway. F him. F him. Y'all, I promise you, some of these women probably have gotten rid of these rings and the man's still there and he wonder where a ring at. And she like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about where your issue at, where yours at. Because y'all know some of them, they don't wear theirs, but they sure looking for you to wear yours. Brenda then finally said, F you, Charles, you ain't wore yours in the last 5 years, so miss me with that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got food on the table, don't we? We got food on the table, don't we? Got a roof over our head. Y'all, listen, Charles, I know what that ring is. I seen that ring up the street at Hilltop Pawn Shop. That's what that ring is. But that's how you know times are hard. I ain't even make that up, y'all. I don't be even coming on here lying to y'all. Even when I tell y'all these stories and I laugh, I joke, it be real. This ish be real, y'all. Times are hard. It's hard out here for a pimp. I say that all the time for those who are familiar with my channel. It is hard out here for the pimps, the hoes, the kids, the seniors. It's hard out here for everybody. Even Elon is getting effed up. Even his numbers going down. He even hollering, it's hard out here for a pimp. He is hollering. That's the energy he got as he talking about how his numbers, and how things are going down in his products and things. His vehicles are getting damaged. He is feeling it too. Ain't nobody exempt. No one is exempt. Y'all hit that like button. It's 136 of you in here. Just hit the like button. Just do me a solid. Hit the like button. So remember, Trump like, yo, come on over here. Imports going to be 25% if you choose to want to continue to do what you've been doing. That's your business, your prerogative. But don't be hooping and howling come April 2nd talking about, come on now, man. Like acting like you didn't know that this was national headlines for the past 30 days. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because y'all know how people be playing when the day come that you start taking action. They want to act like, well, what happened all of a sudden? Y'all know in that relationship when you ready to leave, what happened all of a sudden? What do you mean all of a sudden? This ish been effed up. You been effing around. I'm finally starting ready to react and say, to tell you to kick rocks with no socks on. This ain't no all of a sudden. This is me saying I'm gone. But y'all know how people like to play crazy. So you're going to have them ones, of course. You're going to have them ones that's going to play crazy. Like, what happened all of a sudden? What happened all of a sudden? So Trump going to be like, well, listen here, player. Listen here. You got two options. Option one is to continue to move the way you've been moving, however you've been running your little business, your little establishment. And you do all that with an additional 25% tariff if you want to import your goods into the USA. Comprende? So that's option one. Option two is that you set up shop here in the USA. And we don't apply a 25% tariff. So it's a win for you because, hey, you saving. You ain't paying that 25% tariff. And it's a win for us because your products are made in our country. So therefore, our American people can have jobs. So what you want to do? That is the conversation. So he finna have to be repeating himself, I assure y'all, April 2nd, because y'all know them people finna be acting crazy like they didn't know this was about to pop off, even though the world knew it was about to pop off. So it's finna come and he gonna repeat himself. So let's talk about the manufacturers who were like smart, like, okay, I hear you, sir. I hear you. All right then, player. All right then, Trump. All right then. Damn. I hear you. All right then. Now, what you talking about now? Because we got some of those. Let me tell you those who are like on this. All right, then, what you talking about? Hyundai. Excuse me. Hyundai Motor Group. They will invest $20 billion into a steel plant in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. So if any of you are in the state of Louisiana, in the area of Donaldsonville, they are building a steel plant there. It's going to be a $5.8 billion investment. And they are also going to build in Savannah, Georgia. They're going to build a plant or a warehouse. They're doing something in Savannah, Georgia. So this is Hyundai Motor Company. So those of you who are out of a job, because word on the curb, a lot of people, in particular federal workers and probably some people who worked in education, need a job. Hyundai will be hiring. They will be hiring. They will be hiring. So get into it. Go to their website, follow them, do whatever you need to do so you can stay on top of like any updates that they put out there when it comes to hiring, when they start doing announcements and things like that. But it's a $20 billion investment. They not coming to play. They like, hell, we trying to save some money. Like Trump, listen, they know he crazy. Y'all know you cannot play with people. Be trying crazy people. Like, it's like, they like, we know that anything he say he gonna stand on because he crazy like that. So they like, I then play, I then fine. So the Hyundai is like, we bet, we coming, $20 billion investment. Honda says, okay, we gonna go ahead and come over there too. We gonna come over there. We gonna come over there too. We gonna switch gears. Honda's original plan was to head to Mexico. They originally planned to go to Mexico to build, to manufacture their new Civic, their new Honda Civic. But because of the whole Trump situation and the tariff thing, they said, all right, then, fine. We'll switch gears. We'll go back to Mexico and say, you know, what had happened was, listen, y'all know President over there, ma'am, you know Trump crazy. You know he crazy because he over here playing with y'all too. So don't act like, don't look at me like that, like what's wrong because I'm backing out the deal. Listen, you know he crazy. You know he crazy. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and pull out that deal and go on and take it over to Indiana and USA. I'm going to have to go. Listen, you know he crazy. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that, ma'am? Why? You know he be standing on business. We need to keep our doors open for our company. We can't be playing with him. We ain't got no extra 25%. We ain't got it. We ain't got it. So, yes, we're going to go ahead and move on over to Indiana. We're going to Indiana, and that's where we're going to produce our vehicles. And that's slated to begin in May of 2028 with an expected output of 210,000 vehicles. So guess what? By them doing that, the cost of that particular vehicle, it won't have to have that extra price on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Because if he was still doing it out of Mexico, if the Honda was still making those vehicles in Mexico, that Honda Civic would have like that extra $10,000-$12,000 on it. So because Honda like, yo, listen, I know y'all cussing me out in Spanish and whatever, but we got to do what we got to do. So we got to set up shop in the USA. And, you know, for American people, it's good for us because we won't have to pay those additional fees on that Honda car. Hondas are good cars. Honda ain't never hurt nobody. Get you a Honda. Get you a Honda. So Honda will be making their vehicles, their Honda Civics in Indiana. 210,000. So guess what? That's going to be jobs. That's going to be jobs. So government workers, educators, administrators, you need a job, holla at Honda, follow them on their socials, whatever. I'm sure they'll do their announcements when they're ready to start hiring, when they're going to be breaking ground. It's slated to be ready up and going in May of 2028. So that's what, 3 years from now. So you got 3 years from now, get your resume together, get your little skills together. Go ahead, go to the pawn shop, get you some little tools to practice with. So you'll be ready to show up and show out when you show that you able to work that assembly line. I'm just saying, you got 3 years. You ain't gonna have no excuse. You got 3 years to get your ish together. 3 years to have Keith up the street, the mechanic, or the person who good with his hands to show you how to do some things. You got 3 years. You got 3 years. Stellantis, excuse me, another maker. I think that's the formerly Chrysler name. I think Stellantis is like the new name for Chrysler or something like that. So Stellantis, the company is Stellantis. They have recommitted to producing the new mid-size pickup truck. So they have this pickup truck that they make and they assemble it in Belvidere, Illinois. So peep game on this one. They were planning, before the Trump administration, they were planning to close down shop. They was planning to say, you know what, this ain't working. We don't want to do this no more. I don't want to play. I'm taking my ball. I'm going home. I don't want to do it no more. Stellantis was like, I don't want to do it no more. Trump came in the game in January. They was like, you know what? You know what, Trump? You know what? We rock with what you saying. We rock with what you saying. We gonna go ahead. We gonna stick around. We not gonna close up shop. We gonna stick around and we gonna continue to build our pickup trucks here in Belvidere, Illinois. So Stellantis like, listen, we stand in the game. Trump, listen, Trump, you ain't saying nothing but a word. We stand in the game. You sold us. You sold us. So some people out here looking at him like you crazy. And some people like, yes, bet. Where do I sign? Where do I sign? Stellantis on that. Where do I sign? Honda on that. Where do I sign? Hyundai on that. Where do I sign? Listen. Listen, Linda, listen. What they say, I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So these are makers that are like, listen, I'm going to take your word. I don't even want to try to have you to show us. I'm just going to take your word. Because you got some people out here like, you need to show me. But then you got some that's like, I ain't got to experience everything for myself. I see Ish effed up for Brenda, for Keith over there. So I'm going to go do this over here. Because I ain't trying to be down bad like that. That is what these makers are giving. They're like, I'm not waiting until April 2nd and to feel the burn. My my Bernie Sanders feel the burn. I don't need to feel the burn. I know you not playing. I don't need to feel the burn. So these makers are like, bet we just gonna fall in line. We just gonna fall in line. Ford Motor Company. They're developing the Blue Oval City, which is a $5.6 billion automotive assembly complex near Stanton, Tennessee. They will employ approximately 5,800 people, and they will produce electric pickup trucks and vehicle batteries. They are expected to be open this year. What they say, Ford Tough, is that they brand, Ford Tough? I don't know, y'all. I ain't never, have I ever had a Ford? Let me see. I ain't never drove no Ford, but I always heard Fords are good vehicles. You know, I think the Ford F-150s are the most popular pickup trucks. I do know that. They're the most popular, the most highest purchase pickup trucks out there. Ford, what they say, Ford built, Ford tough. Y'all don't know. Y'all can put in the comment what their little slogan is. But yeah, they're expanding. They was like, listen, we hear what you're talking about. We hear what you're talking about. We gonna continue. We gonna listen. Trump, we here. You ain't even got to send us nothing in the mail about no 25%. You don't even waste your postage stamp. We got you. We're on board. We're on board. We're on board. We are on board. Where do we sign? Again, another one. And another one. Who is that? What's that? Who is that says, what's his name? Y'all know that rap. Well, I was about to call him a rapper. I don't know what he is, but he on air all the rapper stuff. And he said, and another one, and another one. So we got and another one. So if you want to work for Ford, you got an opportunity. If you want to work for Honda, you got an opportunity. If you want to work for Stellantis, you got an opportunity. And if you want to work for Hyundai, you got an opportunity. Listen, pick one. It's like a branch of military. Pick one. What you want to do, where you want to go and be all you want to be. Where you want, you got your Army, you got the Navy, you got the pick what I need for you to pick one. The moral of the story is there will be jobs. It's just going to be a matter of if it's a job you're willing to do, but there will be jobs. There will be jobs. There are jobs coming, and they will be in the automobile industry. Another company who have signed on the line is a semiconductor manufacturing company called TSMC. They're Taiwan's chip giant, and they will spend $100 billion to expand the U.S. chip manufacturing, and they will build 5 U.S. factories in the coming years. More jobs again. The Arizona factory will open in 2030. It's projected to be about 25,000 plus jobs. So pick one. Listen, pick one. We ain't gonna be hearing, oh, I can't find. No, it ain't gonna be no, I can't find a job. It's gonna be a matter of, okay, is it coming down to you finding a job you want to do? Because Trump is trying to bring back manufacturing to the U.S. because it left like years ago, about 30 years ago, like manufacturing, it left, and we became more of a service-led type country. So he's bringing back manufacturing. He's bringing it back, and I don't feel like it's a bad thing because it's jobs. It's jobs. Many of you have probably worked in these industries before and retired out of them, or you know people who did, or your pappy, your grandpapa, somebody you know in the family worked in these industries and they made a very good living. Back then, let's just go back to the 80s. Were there heavy talks about layoffs in that field, in that industry? Like, how strong was the job market when our country was heavily built around like with making things? Because right now about 80% of the goods that are coming into the US, they're imported. I think I had heard with Walmart, 80% of the items on their shelves are imported. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. That is crazy that most of what you use, it's not even made here. It's made from somewhere else. That's crazy. We got to change that. We need to be homegrown, like they call the bodies. We homegrown, y'all. It's a homegrown body. It's homegrown. It's homegrown. Homegrown mean natural, like it was built here. I'm Ford built. I'm Ford built. I'm homegrown. He's trying to make everything homegrown. So this is the way, this is the direction that we're going. He's like, yo, we got to take back our power, our control. So therefore, somebody can't threaten to cut our water off. Somebody can't say, yo, we finna turn your lights off because you're not playing by our rules. We finna take our ball and go home. Who wants to ever be in that situation to where you need to put up with somebody-ish because of what they got or what they doing? Come on, like, ladies, I'll talk about this. What we not gonna do is be with some damn dusty man who talking about, well, if you leave me, then you ain't finna have this car, this house, and F you, the car you wrote, listen, all of that. This is the energy we got. We on the I can get it for myself type energy. I'm all for teamwork. Teamwork make the dream work, but not at the cost of me and what I got going on to have me down bad. You ain't finna be taking advantage of me talking about some teamwork. No, that's not what you're going to do. You're not going to do that. And that's what has been happening with our country, is that as we've been trying to play as a team, it hasn't been fair. So let's just say for Canada, like with tariffs, they've assessed tariffs on us that have been far higher than the tariffs we've assessed on them historically. So now Trump's like, yo, this ain't fair. This ain't fair. Okay. Well, now we're going to up our tariffs. Y'all been doing it. Why you want to get mad now? Why you want to get mad now that I'm matching your energy? I'm matching your energy. And Trump is like, listen, we just want to be equal opportunists. What they say was good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can do it, then hell, then I should be able to do it. If you can do it, then I should be able to do it. And that's what's going on. It's a lot of tit for tat that's taking place. It's tit for tat that's taking place. So he's like, okay, well, fine. You've been doing me dirty all these years. So, okay, enough is enough. We can't do this anymore. And it's just like, dang, Trump, like, but come on, like, it's been working. Like, why you got to mess up what we've been having? It's been working for you. It's been working for you. It's been working for you. Yeah, you've been winning. Of course, you're going to want to keep things status quo because you've been benefiting more than us. So, yeah, you like, well, no, I want to keep it to where we charge you the 100%, 200% tariff, whatever percent we've been charging you. And Trump like, okay, we'll play it. Well, if you want to keep it like that, I'm going to hit you with one, too. I'm saying what? What? What's good? What's good? I'm just trying to match your energy. I'm just trying to match your energy. I'm trying to match your energy. I'm just trying to match your energy. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him for that at all. At all. It's a sad situation for the Canadians and Americans because guess what? We're caught up in the middle. We're caught up in the middle. But it be like that, It be like that. This ain't our first time being in some situations where we catching the stray and we caught up in the middle. And we like, but I ain't do nothing. Why I got to take a hit? It's just life. It be that way. But I have faith we will see better days. I feel like right now we're going through a lot of growing pains. But at the end of the day, I have faith our nation will see better days. And here's the thing. Even with all these changes and things like that, I think it's a lot of lessons for each of the countries to where each country learn how to stand on their own. and not be so dependent on someone else. Say Canada. They had a lot of dependency on the U.S. Now it's time to you stand 10 toes down, stand on your own, and learn what it is to get it out the mud yourself versus relying on, say, the USA. Therefore, you don't have to feel like, okay, you got to kiss the ring or whatever, because you can stand on your own. That's what it's about. Every country needs to be able to do that, be able to stand on their own. And that's why Trump's like, well, hell, we might as well take them over and make them the 51st state. We taking care, we sending them money, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars anyway. So we might, what they say, if you feeding a neighbor kid, you might as well then be able to claim them on your taxes, right? You ever feed somebody kid, you like, I need to be able to claim this child on my taxes. Because you taking care of them, you feed them, you clothing them. So you like, well, hell, let me just get the benefit because I'm taking care of them anyway. That's the energy that Trump has when it comes to Canada. He like, hell, we taking care of him anyway. So what's the difference with us just saying, listen, we going to claim you and give you our last name? You like, no, I don't want you claiming me. I don't want your last name, but I still want your money. I still want your money, but I don't want your name. Yeah. I want your money, but I don't want your name. I don't want to be up underneath you. I don't want to be in your household. Just go ahead and cash at me every month. Send me that Zelle every month on the 1st and the 15th. That's all I need from you. And Trump's like, no. That's what's been happening, but we can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. And I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not mad at it at all. Welcome, everyone. How are you? What is this? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. It's a beautiful day today in the great state of Georgia. Where are you? Drop in the comment where you're at. I'm going to take a break right now, and I'm trying to get through some of the comments. I see a lot of comments in there. Again, if you have a comment that you want to stand out, send a super chat, put some color in the chat, and it'll pop. I can see your comment. So that's how we'll do with that. So let's see what y'all got going on. Let me see. KRKR said, this is just a horrible misunderstanding of global economics. They really think he has a magic wand and can make factories that are 100 acres with 10,000 specialized workers overnight. Getmatic said, yes, they make $3 an hour, but then if they don't make enough tips, the employer must make them even by bringing them up to minimum wage. It's their fault if they didn't report it. Jason, what's up, Jason Hammond? 100% chic. Cynthia Thompson says, lots of places pay less than $3 an hour, and the places of employment do not make up their tips by paying minimum wage. It's hard. Like I told y'all, it's hard out here. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. I'm gold, says Benjamin. Yes, you can. We lost them. Without the tariffs, we can get them back with them. Nate said we also had 50% less of a population 30 years ago. Yes, so we're heavily populated right now. And hold on one moment. Yes, we are heavily populated right now, and that's an added strain that we do have on just anything that we have going on. But we have to stop the bleeding. I do feel like Trump, and he feels like if we start working towards this direction with the whole manufacturing, that is a start. Like, we got to do something. That is why he got my vote, because what's been happening hadn't been working. You know, it's like the definition of insanity to do the same thing over and over again, but expect a different outcome. And what was happening, what was taking place in the previous administration, it was not working. It was not working. So I voted for change. Like I just, that's all I could do, because I was not willing to vote to get what we've been getting. I didn't have any faith that Kamala was just going to do something different. She never spoke on what the different looked like. It's like she basically was going to give more of what we've been getting, and that hasn't been working really for anybody. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And clearly many people couldn't do it because Trump got a lot of votes. So you can't just be mad at me. Like, you got to be mad at pretty much like every third person you see, because that's about as equivalent of who voted for him. Probably every third person you look at based off of them numbers. Based off of them numbers, that's about it. Every third person. Reagan preached, say, yeah, it's hard for workers in America. Reason why you don't tax the rich. They do. You know who pays the tariff. Cindy Princess, how's that working for you? Ninja, so making the world safe, equality. Nate said that's why they say hard work pays off. I'm not giving my hard-earned money to anybody. Yeah, we mad. You say, you mean 50%. And Angela, what is this feed about? The moral of the story is what's been taking place with our nation, with our economy, with our nation, with the USA. It hasn't been working. It has been working for a long time. Listen, it is what it is. That's why we effed up. We didn't just get effed up January 20th when Trump got inaugurated. Like, this issue was already effed up. Like, this issue was effed up. He been trying to fix it since then. He's been trying to fix it. And I'm going to talk to y'all about the fruit of his efforts, what he's done. We're going to switch over to immigration because I got some more data for you. And I don't even see how one even feels anything other than gratitude when you even hear the data I'm about to share with you pertaining to immigration. This is current data. Please come on in. Please hit the like button as you come on in. We're about to switch over to immigration. Are you here for immigration? Are you here for what's been popping off surrounding the immigration? Trump sends military strikers to strengthen border protection. The strikers were used for surveillance last year. The strikers are used for surveillance. Last year, there were 1,600 illegals a day coming through the El Paso sector. Today, there are 0. I will repeat. A year ago, we were at 16. I'm not going to say a year ago. Pre-Trump administration, on average, it was about 1,600 people coming through El Paso. Illegal immigrants. 1,600. Today, there are 0. Now, what the heck did he come in doing that the previous administration couldn't do? Like, all this man did was send reinforcements to the doggone border. Like, he didn't do, like, literally that's all he did. People wasn't down there putting nobody in a headlock or in the chokehold or nothing like that. They literally sent military down there to monitor the border and just stand guard. Like, that's it. That is it. Legit. That is it. That is it. The U.S. sent 2,400 additional soldiers to the border for our side. Mexico put another 10,000 on the border on their side. Y'all, that was it. Like, it was nothing else. Legit, it was just placing reinforcements there. Like, why? Why couldn't we do that before? But Trump comes along and do it, and he the bad guy for doing that, which should have been done the whole time. Listen, y'all, listen. I be on here trying to understand. When I hit live and I come out here with these questions, I be trying to understand, because I be trying to figure this ish out, because it don't be like people, I feel like make things deeper than what they are. Like, he literally just sent someone to the border, people to the border that said, hey, you can't come over here. That is all the man did. 0 people coming through right now. Historically, we had 1.7 million a year of illegal immigrants crossing the border. 1.7 million a year. Because remember, I was telling y'all what in a day, they was what, about 1,600 of them was coming a day through the El Paso sector. 1.7 million a year. This is what was happening underneath the previous administration. This is that ish that I'm talking about. The previous administration, that's the Biden administration, the Democratic administration. Y'all wonder why I voted the way I did, because the ish that was popping off, it wasn't working. It wasn't serving our country. I voted for something different. Like, I'm like, I got to try something different, because what we got is not working. We got to do something different. In the number of, remember I told you that what we had 1.7 million a year coming over. Within that number, 550,000 were unoccupied minors. 550,000 unoccupied minors coming over, crossing the border illegally. Unoccupied meaning that they didn't come with their parent, a guardian. They just came over however they came over. What they call them, the coyote. Maybe they came over with a coyote, but basically that coyote's job was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna get the child over the border, and then 4-year-old, get it how you live. 10-year-old, get it how you live. 14-year-old, get it how you live. This is what was happening. They were left on their own. The toddlers left on their own. 448,000 of the minors were transferred to the HHS and released to sponsors. HHS, I think that's some type of government facility or something. They were released to sponsor. 31,000 of the minors were sent to an invalid or incomplete address. So remember, of the 550,000 minors, 31,000 of them, okay, there is a record of an address that they were sent to, but it's incomplete, meaning that someone who's looking at in the system trying to figure out where little Maria Lopez went, the address in the system is incomplete. So they can't go to that address to try to find little Maria Lopez. Little Juan Rodriguez. Like that, you can't, because the address was incomplete, invalid. So they can't do anything with that information. The question is, where are these kids? The Department of Homeland Security said that ICE can't track the unoccupied minors. You all, the 550,000 kids, they can't. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? All of them cannot be accounted for. Where are they? What had happened, Biden? What had happened, Kamala? Because this was on your watch. Where these babies at? Where they at? Hashtag where they at? What's up, Dr. J? Hashtag where they at? Where are the babies? Where are these minors? Human trafficking. Do any of you all believe in that? Somebody just put in trafficking. What does that mean to you? Do y'all believe in that? Do y'all think that's lies and propaganda? Do you believe that trafficking is a real thing? Because how do you justify losing hundreds of thousands of kids? Like, where are these babies at? Biden administration, you're welcoming these people over here. You set them up in a system, giving them benefits, sending them to addresses and things like that. But you can't speak to where these kids went, because how you got addresses in the system that's invalid? Were you just making up numbers and throwing a name on the end saying, okay, 123 Sesame Street? Like, are you just making up stuff just to put in the system? Where are these babies? Where are these babies? Get ready for these stats. So, in February of 2022, 2023, and 2024, I'm going to give you stats. So these are fiscal year stats for the month of February. So each year, so the fiscal year starts February. February of 2022, there were 12,000 children coming over here illegally. February of 2022. Underneath, remember, this is the Biden administration. February of 2023, there were 10,000 minors that came over illegally. In February 2024, there were 10,350 minors that came over here illegally. This is all underneath the Biden administration. Guess how many came over in February of 2025 illegally? Because now keep in mind, Trump came over, got into his position, or he got it. The inauguration was January 20th. As of February 2025, the number of illegal minors coming across the border was down to 814. I repeat, in February of 2025, the number of illegal immigrants that were minors was 814. The goal is 0. Now, what the heck has Trump been doing that the Biden administration couldn't do? Let's talk about it. Those of you who are in support of Biden, whoever the heck you in support of, that's not Trump. How do you justify these numbers? How, Sway? Like, let's talk about it. Come on, go and put it in here. Act like you got some sense with your comments. I got my mind coming in here. My mind tells you, my mind to get you together. What happened? How do we go from 10, 12,000 illegal minors coming here a year to 814 for the month of February 2025? I'm just asking questions because that's what we do. Smart people ask questions. We seek out answers. That's why I affectionately call us the honor students on this channel. If you are a subscriber of mine, you are an honor student. We elevate, we expand. We don't go along with the get along. We not sheep. We ask questions. We do our research. Question: what had happened? What had happened, Biden? What had happened, Kamala? Where these babies? Where these babies? It was over 500,000 of them that came on your watch. What had happened? I'm listening. Where they go? Where they at? Hashtag where they at? Where they at? Where they at? I'll wait. Trump has only been in office to date 68 days. The number down to 814 of illegal minors coming over as of February 2025. This man has only been running the show for 68 days. Biden ran the show for 4 years. Underneath his watch, 10 to 12,000 illegal minors were coming over here. What's up, virtuous woman? Welcome. Y'all might have y'all work cut out for y'all in the comments, but I know y'all got it. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Welcome. Welcome those of you who are new to my channel. Like the video. It's 165 of you in here. Please like the video. Drop a comment. Be respectful. With the business facts. Nicely done. Thank you so much. Listen, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. But at the same time, Trump, like, we ain't talking about it. We being about it. We finna show y'all how much of an F up that previous administration was by coming in here, rolling up our sleeves and getting to work. This man hasn't even been in here 90 days. I told y'all it's been 68 days. It's been 68 days, and this is what he's been able to do in 68 days. What did Biden do in 4 years? Come on, y'all, those of you who supported that administration, what did he do in the 4 years? Because clearly most people didn't feel like he did enough because the Democrats did not win the vote. It's not just me. It's me and millions of other people who had questions. It's me and millions of other people who said, we got to try something different. I don't know if Trump, if he going to pull it out, but listen, we got to try something different. We got to at least give him a chance because this right here, this ain't it. You ever get in a situation to where you like, hell, you feel like you ain't got nothing to lose because you down so bad to where you like, I got to try something different. Because I'm down so bad with you at the bottom, it's only up from here. That's what it's saying. Started from the bottom, now we're here. When you so low to bar, you so down at the bottom to where the only thing it is up. That's how many people looked at it when it came to the Trump administration. Many people, many Democrats already felt like they were at the bottom. Not many Democrats, many people, some of them that were previously voted Democrat, but many Americans felt like they were already at the bottom. Trump came along and say, hey, I got some plans. I got some plans. Rock with me. Hashtag let me cook. Let them cook. My husband always say, let them cook. Let them cook. Hashtag let them cook. Trump like, let me cook. Let me cook. Give me some time. Just people keep saying it hasn't been, he's still early. Give me some time. And that's what I try to do as he's doing what he's doing, because he's ran this country before. And in my opinion, when he ran it before, he did a good job. He did not get my vote the first time he ran the country. I didn't trust him. I didn't know, like, who, it's like Hardball, who that man, who that Hardball, who is that? But when he got the position and started doing his thing, I'm like, all right then, player, I see you. So the next time he ran, he got my vote. What was that, 2020 election? And that's the one they gave it to Biden, the man who had about 10 people showing out at rallies. They gave it to him. Somehow they tried to convince us that he got all the votes. All right then, if y'all say so. So he was named as the president, and for 4 years we was effed. For 4 years we were effed. It was a different type of feeling than the previous 4 years, right? How many of y'all felt like it was a little different? It was a little different underneath the Biden administration than it was underneath the previous administration. Because right before the C-19 took place, the pandemic, when Trump was running the show, we was Gucci. Like, things wasn't bad. It started kind of going downhill because something that wasn't in his control took place. So it almost like it overshadowed the stuff that he done that was good because of the pandemic. So it just became like the thing that took our attention the most. So a lot of things, it's almost like he started getting judged based off of what popped off during the pandemic at the top of the 2020 versus, you looking at the full 4 years. I looked at the full 4 years, but as people would talk about it and things, I think it's like they only wanted to focus on how he was maneuvering through like the pandemic. And some people didn't like how he was navigating through that. So they framed, his works, just, it was like he was boxed in and judged from that. But if you look at it in its totality over the 4 years, he was doing a doggone thing. He was doing pretty well. So that's what I looked at. So once Biden got in, people start to feel different. A lot of people over here talk about how they felt like they had more money in their pockets and their bank accounts underneath the Trump administration than they did in the Biden administration. Things was just hitting differently in a negative way underneath the Biden administration. And that's why a lot of times when Kamala would speak, people would ask her, hey, what do you plan to do different? And she really didn't say a whole lot. And that's why a lot of people didn't back her, because she didn't stand 10 toes down or strongly on any particular thing. So people felt like, well, damn, we just going to have another 4 years of what we've had. Like, she didn't speak on anything that was just way different. And then some of the things she did speak on, people be like, okay, well, why aren't you implementing that now? You do know that you're a part of you're a part of the team that's running the show. So you got this great idea. Why aren't you telling this to your team and you guys implementing that? So how do we trust that what you saying you're going to do, that you're going to do it? Because low key, you got the right to kind of start doing that ish now. You do know you already in position, right? You do know you the VP, right? Like, you do know you Biden's right-hand person, right? So these great ideas you have, why haven't you been able to kick it to him and y'all implement this? If you're his right-hand person, these ideas that you have, he should be willing to hear you out and trust that you're not going to lead the country astray. Like, he selected you for a reason. So these are some of the reasons why she didn't get a lot of votes, because people felt like she was selling wolf tickets. Because it's like, ma'am, you got all these good ideas, but you ain't implementing none of them while you in the White House right now. Ma'am, go have several seats. And that's the energy that people had. They was like, if you don't go sit down somewhere because you talking nonsense, you lying. You ain't been doing that. You ain't been trying to monitor. Hey, what's up, Pearl? You ain't been trying to monitor the borders. They were saying, they were always talking about how she hadn't been to the border in X amount of length of time. Like, she didn't ever go check out that stuff. I don't know if she was sitting on, well, that ain't my job. I don't know what she was doing, but people didn't see her doing a doggone thing other than cackle. Go on this world tour where she'd get in the interview and she'd start cackling. Wasn't talking about nothing, just cackling. Well, that cackle didn't get her into the White House. And they will be a fool to try to invest in millions of dollars again in that woman to try to get her back in there, because the people have spoke, and they are not here for Kamala Harris. They are not here for her. The Democrats aren't here for her. They're not here for her. Jasmine Crockett, like, listen, y'all need to be here for me. That's why she running around running her mouth the way she is. Jasmine Crockett, like, forget Kamala. She too old anyway. I'm the new talent. I'm the young new talent. So, listen, people want to change. I want to change. So that's why the Trump administration got my vote. It was just time for a new day. Trump said him and the Prime Minister Carney, they had a virtual meeting. Carney set that meeting up because Carney, like, listen, I want to collaborate. I want to discuss how we can kind of fix this. Trump walked away saying, you know, it was a good meeting or whatever. But what I haven't heard him say is that he's backing off anything that he has in place to take effect on April 2nd. He said, y'all, I mean, it was a good meeting. But look, you know, some people sit on talk is cheap. Trump, like, listen, it was a good meeting, but you gonna have to show me, like, what you, like, you know, show me. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Show me. So you talk a good game. So as of right now, come April 2nd, which is, what's that, Wednesday? I think this April 2nd, Wednesday. He said he didn't want to do it on the first April Fools. So he did April 2nd. Come April 2nd, 25% tariff on automobiles that come through as imports that come through the USA. I know some people have already been seeing the increase of gas. I heard that recently Canada have impacted the fuel, the gas and things like that. So some places have already started to see the increasing gas. Here in Georgia, I haven't seen it yet. It's still kind of been holding steady at about $2.90 a gallon. This is for unleaded, about $2.90. You can let me know where you live, and I'm in Georgia, Metro Atlanta. So I'm not in the city limits. I'm outside. I'm in the suburbs. So it's about $2.89. It's about $2.89. Let me know where you're at in the chat. It's 164 of you in here. If I can get at least 100 of y'all to hit the like button, just double tap. Hit the like button, please. Let me know what city, what state you're in. What is the gas prices right now? What are the gas prices where you're located? Have you seen a drop in the eggs? Many places have seen a decrease in the eggs. I know a couple weeks ago Trump talked about a decrease. There's what is that? What do you call that? The interest rates for home loans. Interest rates have gone down. So I don't know if they're down to like a 6 from a 7. He said energy had gone down, but I had been hearing talks where some people were saying they were seeing a rise in the gas. Edward said $8 eggs in Philadelphia region. Okay. Back when they were still high, I was seeing for the high end, $12, the low end $5, but I haven't checked them as of late. Then it says gas up to $3.89 in Northern Illinois. Eggs still $9 a dozen. So your gas is about $1 more than what hello. Your gas is like $1 more than what I'm seeing here. Rooster said, I'm in Alabama, gas $2.65. All right, that's lower than what I'm seeing. If I go to Kroger and use my little Kroger card, I can I think the last time I filled up, gas was at $2.95. I had 10 cents off. So y'all, if y'all got Kroger's and you shop at Kroger, you can earn points to come down off your gas prices. So I had 10 points on my account that I was able to apply to my gas. So I paid $2.85 the last time I filled up. So that was probably sometime last week. That was probably sometime last week. Okay, say eggs are $5 in New York, $5+. All right, then that ain't too bad, especially for New York, because I remember seeing a guy. I'm at them interviewing a guy in New York, and he was saying they were talking about the gas prices, and I think not the gas, the egg prices. I think at that time they were talking about $20, and he was saying I think he go through 24 dozen a day or something at his bakery. Crazy. Let me see. Ramona says gas down to $2.65 here in South Carolina. $2.65. So what was that? Illinois, South Carolina. So it's about 25 cents cheaper where you are. Rick says in Virginia, $2.76. Eggs $3.99. Okay, so yeah, like that's not too bad. It's not too bad. I got a road trip planned soon. I want to be traveling to DC. And my mom was concerned about like gas prices, she's spazzing, gas prices. They said the price is going to go up, but I'm like, we'll be fine. Around these parts, it hasn't gone up yet, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. But I promise you, I really feel like we're working towards better days. And Alexander said here in Italy, gas is, so I guess in your currency, you got a 78. So I'm not quite sure what that translates to, what our currency is, but thank you for sharing that. Rooster said it's $2.55 across the state line in Mississippi. So that's not too bad. We all right. We good. We all right. We ain't headed to the soup line just yet. At least not this weekend. We good through the weekend at least. We are good through the weekend. Indianapolis, $2.80. Yeah, KR said, yeah, around New York, $3.50 to $3.75. So it's nothing too bad. So, I mean, it is what it is. Growing pains, hashtag growing pains. We got to go through some things. We got to feel the burn before we kind of get to that, where we kind of can kick our heels up. But we just got to, we got to get into, we're rolling our sleeves up right now. My thing is, like, I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm not Canadian. So what I'm not going to do is get on here and cape for Canada and go against my country. And I don't feel like it's even appropriate etiquette for just even people. How do you all feel about just people from other countries coming over here and just talking greasy about our people and our country? I seen recently Marco Rubio, I think he revoked the visas for like 300 plus, I think, college students. He said, listen here, y'all ain't finna be over here damn running amok talking greasy. Listen, go on back home. If you ain't got no act right, go on back home. Go on back home if you ain't got no act right. I think it was about 300 plus visas they recently said that Marco Rubio revoked, because he be like, listen, like, what we not gonna do is let you just be coming over here, just been a distraction, just getting it going. We not gonna let you do that. You're not gonna do that. Go back home. You can get on your internet and talk all the smack you want, but you're not gonna be in our streets talking mess while being over in our country utilizing our resources. Like, make that make sense. Like, think about any of you, like, so most of you or a lot of you may be currently in your own home country. So would you go to another country, walk the streets and talk mess about how they do things? Like, just basic etiquette. So I'm from the US. I go to, let me see, I go to, where am I going? I'm going to Paris, France. I'm not finna go on over to Paris, France and be out on the news, walking the streets, talking about how dirty the place is, how the people ain't, how they rude, and how their economy is. I'm not finna do that, because that makes no sense. Like, why am I gonna do that and just think that these people are gonna look after me and make sure I'm good and I'm safe if I'm over here talking greasy about they people? I'm outnumbered. Like, that just defines common sense and logic to go into their homes and just talk about them. That's like you all walking into someone's house and start talking about their furniture, talking about how poor they are, how dirty their floors are, their furniture is. You don't have to be in their home. You don't do that. You don't step into someone's home and be disrespectful to their home when they welcomed you into their home. If you don't like it, you can leave. Just say, oh, thanks for the invite, but no thanks. Don't go into someone's home and then start talking greasy about their home when they extended you the invite. That's just not what you do. So Marco Rubio said, okay, well, clearly, since you ain't got enough common sense to know that this is just not what you do, we're going to help you out. We're going to go ahead and revoke these visas, and we're going to go ahead and put you on a one-way plane back home. How about that? How about that? Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Speaking on being mad at some things, I want to talk about the state of Florida and DeSantis and these kids working these jobs. These kids working these jobs over 30 hours a week as students starting at the age of 14. I want to get into that. I need to make sure I don't forget. Let me try to see if I can get into some of the comments because there's a lot of y'all in here. Y'all hit the like button. Ramona says, I agree with Marco Rubio. I know that's right. Thank you for being here, Ramona King. Marla Jose says, I agree. Xander said, we don't pay much for gas. No way. Rooster said, Rubio is well-spoken. He can articulate his words very well. I like him. Rubio says, this is what we're not going to do. This is what we're not going to do. Y'all say y'all educated. Y'all ain't too educated because you ain't got enough. So here's a difference. There's a difference between being educated and having common sense. Everybody ain't got common sense. It's common sense to not be rude when you're in someone else's home. That's just common sense. So you got a lot of people who are out here moving recklessly, and it's not common sense. It has nothing to do with SAT scores. Taylor May 33 said, I'm here for all the smoke Trump is bringing. Hashtag let him cook. Hashtag let him cook. Anthony says, is what you think manifests it's yourself as support of terrorists, then you can leave and not come back. Right. Like, listen, going back home. Like, it makes no sense. If you have a problem with how we doing things over here, go to where you came from. It makes sense to me. Virtuous says common sense, not that common, unfortunately. Clearly. Taylor May 333 says, let Trump cook. Let him cook. So Rubio was like, listen, if you ain't trying to act like you know, then I'm gonna go ahead and help you out. And Virtuous says, I agree, Anthony. If you ain't trying to let him cook, he was like, all right then. If you want to just run amok and think that you still in Canada, think you still in Afghanistan, think you still in Ethiopia, think you still in Saudi Arabia, think you still in Paris, France, all right then, let me go ahead and help you out and get you back over to these places, because clearly you think you over there anyway, because the way you talk and you act like you not standing on our dirt. So let me help you out, player. Let me help you out. Shane says Trump is our last hope. I truly believe that. I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that. So let's talk about Florida. So Ron DeSantis, he's the governor of Florida. He recently signed a bill allowing for teenagers to work longer than the 30 hours right now permitted as full-time students. So I remember working, as a student when I was in high school. Throughout my whole high school experience, I worked. My sisters and I, we worked. We had to help our mom out, single parent household. We worked. And back then, it was the rules of, I think we couldn't work really more than like 30 hours a week. I don't know, but like we had to be done by like 9 o'clock. It was like a certain time that we were supposed to be done working. So Ron DeSantis was like, okay, due to the fact that we don't have the immigrant workers here like we used to, and right now the Trump administration is working to raise up about another 500,000+ up out of here, we have to figure out a way to get this work done. So I propose that we allow children 14 and up to work longer hours, longer than the 30 hours. So he's saying that these working environments is not going to be like slum type working environments or nothing like that. This is like jobs like for like your grocery stores, your Publix, your Piggly Wiggly, things like that. He's saying students who are like virtual learners, independent learners, work to go to school online. Basically, I guess he's saying students who don't rely on physically, I guess, getting up to have to go and physically report to like a school, like your brick and mortar schools, like most students probably do, at least students in grade school. So he was like, all of those other learners who kind of do their schooling online, I propose, which he's already, I think, signed in for it to take effect, that children as young as 14 are able to work overnight. And meaning they're able to say, go to work at maybe 11 o'clock at night, do that third shift, work third shift, and get off just in time for school. Let me know your thoughts on that. I honestly clutched my invisible pearls on that thought because I know what it's like as a teenager to work. And I know what it's like to be a student and an employee. And it's very hard. And because that was what my situation was, I do feel like it impacted my experience as a minor, as far as with not having to grow up too fast to be concerned about just adult responsibilities, paying bills, making money, things that I feel like children should not have to worry about. But I think in today's time, far too many children have to worry about those grown-up things, like how food is going to be put on the table, how the rent is going to be paid, how gas is going to be put in vehicles, how clothes is going to be put on the backs of the people, the family in the house. Like, I feel like children or minors, and when I say children, I'm factoring in anybody under 18. So those are technically minors. Minors, children is same group, you under 18. I feel like minors, children who are under 18, today, they have to grow up so quickly because it's so hard to where many households are relying on their children to do more. They're relying on their children to bring in money. They're relying on children to bring in money. And that is so disheartening. And I truly feel like these families that are relying on their children to bring in money is because they feel like they have to. It's not that, oh, I want my child to be outside working, doing that. I feel like they have to. And I've heard stories of adults who talk about when they were younger, a lot of them like, that were like immigrants, they came from other countries, and they tell stories of how they were out there making money, and the parents didn't even know that they were out there doing what they were doing. But they had this hustle mentality. You all ever notice like a lot of like immigrants have this hustle like mentality, this get to it mentality? It's like it's like unlike like a lot of like Americans, I think we come to like expect things to be a certain way, to just be orderly. But a lot of like people who come from other places, they don't really come here with that expectation for like someone to just make something easy for them. It's like they expect to get it out of the mud because that's all they know. So the mentality is different. I grew up hearing about how like a lot of Africans view, like I had some African friends, and I had an African friend, and her father didn't want her to date an American black man, and that's who she fell in love with, eventually married. They're married now, have children, everything. But at the time, he was not for her dating an American black man because he had that mindset like a lot of Africans I heard over the years have, where black Americans are lazy. How many of you all have ever heard that, where other groups of people believe that Americans are lazy? So when I was growing up, I would hear that that's how Africans felt about black people. I didn't ever hear that being said about other groups of people feeling that way about us, but I heard that Africans felt that way about us. So what I have come to see, just once I became an adult and started being able to really peep game, I'm 44 years old right now, I see a lot of people who come from other countries where they're immigrants. They have a different type of mentality. They have this hustle mentality, and they also have the mentality of not being wasteful, meaning that their money. They are very strategic with how they spend their money. So meaning they're going to have like maybe like a nice house. They may have a pretty nice car, but they still watch their coin. Even though they're six-figure earners, six-figure plus earners, they still watch their coin, and they still moving away to as though I may not have it tomorrow. They ain't moving like we seeing these rappers move. Y'all know how the rappers move. These immigrants that come over here, they don't move that way. They don't move that way. They're gonna have their house, and then they're gonna have their vehicle. You ain't finna see them all dripped out with all the jewelry and stuff. You ain't finna see them flossing and flexing. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna appreciate good meals, quality meals. It's just different. It's just different with how they spend their money, how they utilize their resources, because they think about back to when they didn't have it. They think about how hard they worked to get to where they are right now. They think about the sacrifices that their parents made. They think about trying to help make their parents have a better life because of the sacrifice they made when they brought them over to here. So they move a little different. Those are going to be the ones who appreciate. Those are the ones that aren't talking greasy about the U.S. They're appreciative because they understand that their life is far better here than what it was where they came from and what it would be if they were to go back today. So it's not even an option for them to go back. So they move differently if they move from a place of gratitude. And when you move from a place of gratitude, I feel like you tend to have more. You tend to have more when you move from a place of gratitude versus talking greasy about what somebody else is doing. You tend to look angry. You tend to look out of place, and people look at you side-eye because they wonder, why are you here? Why are you here? It's not a good look. You looking crazy if that's the type of energy and the type of time you're on here in the USA. If it's not giving what you feel like it should give, go back to where you're from or where you came from, build up that place, and hopefully it can give what it is that you want it to give if it's not happening over here. You have a choice. Anyone who's over here have a choice. You don't have to be here. I am an American citizen. I was born and raised, everybody came from here. You got to trace it back to whoever came over from Africa, like mama, grandma. Like, this is home for me. So because this is home for me, I'm not going to talk greasy about my home and up somebody else's home. That's not what you're going to get out of me. I'm going to talk about the areas where, we got our work cut out for us, where we can do better. But I still sit in a place of, this is the best country for me. This is my home. And I'm not going to believe that I'm going to go to Canada and have a better experience than what I have here in my home, my country. I do my part to contribute to the country being what it is. That's all we can do. That's what you got to do, right? And those people who are from other countries that are here, if you're not liking the way we're moving, go back to your country and work together to make it what it is, what you want it to be. Because that's how we got this what it is. We've worked together. So go back there and work together to get it to where you want it to be. Like, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Many of you who are coming over here, you're coming over here to reap the benefits from the backs of people who've been here for generations, whose family been here for generations, to make it what it is. You're able to be over here because of the people that look like me and us walking the picket line to fight for people to be able to be integrated into things and to participate with things, to be able to vote for people from other countries. Like that was the result of people that look like me. So what I'm not here for is you to come over to our country and just be disrespectful to people that look like me. So if that's what you want to do, then DeSantis said, well, then go ahead and hand over that visa. Just go ahead and hand over the visa and go and take it back to the crib. Hand over that visa. And y'all know they crying. Y'all know they hooping and hollering. Y'all know they hooping and hollering. Acting like, well, what did I do? Y'all know that's what, folks want to play crazy when you want to try to meet them with that energy. They want to start backpedaling. Well, what did I do? Why do you have to be so aggressive? I got a visa. I'm a citizen. Okay, well, you ain't acting like it. It's a privilege to be over here. Just like if I were to go to any other country, guess what? That would be a privilege for me to be over there. Regardless of how impoverished that place may be, it still would be a privilege for me to be over there because that's not my home. Those people do not have to allow for me to be in their country. So I have to move with gratitude, be appreciative. That's what you do, right? That is what you do. But you know who not appreciative of somebody and not here for them being over there in their home and not opening up their arms and welcoming them in? Denmark with the Vance, Mr. and Mrs. Vance. JD Vance and his wife, I don't know if they still over there. I think they might have flew out yesterday. But them people over there in Denmark, they are not here for them being over there. Because they're tired of the whole talk about the U.S. taking over Denmark. They're not here for it. They're like, and I believe JD Vance and his wife are staying on like a military base or whatever over there. So they're not like staying out there with the people. Because the people like, yeah, y'all go ahead and stay over there because we don't want you over here. We don't want you over here. So what I've been hearing a lot of debate around in when it comes to Canada and Denmark, if whether or not the people really want to be a part of the U.S. because Trump keeps saying, hey, Canada, you might as well become the 51st state. We got you. We taking care of you anyway. And I'm hearing talks that some of the Canadians are over there like, yo, we're here for it because we've been struggling over here for years. How many of y'all have heard Canadians speak about just the tough times over there, the cost of food and things been expensive over there, and the cost of living been expensive, and even though healthcare is free, you got to get in line to wait for treatment, and there have been a number of deaths occurring as a result of people waiting for their number to be called for treatment, because normally, usually when something's free, right, you got to stand and wait in line because it's free. So what I'm hearing is that some of the Canadians are saying, okay, yes, healthcare is free, but we've lost quite a bit of lives as people have been waiting for healthcare, waiting for their turn to be, looked at. And by the time, I guess, they number get called, like, listen, they no longer with us. The line didn't move fast enough. So I'm hearing that some people over in Canada are like, listen, like, we don't like how things are running over there, and we're open. We're here for the idea of merging with the U.S. But then I also hear, that some of the Canadians are like, like F.U.S. for forgetting, they standing strong for their country, which I'm not mad at them. I personally feel like you represent your home, your country. I'm more so looking at you in another type of way if you kind of not holding your country down. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I'm questioning, like, well, what's really going on that you're not holding your country down? Let's talk. And if you're not holding your country down, and if you do want to move and jump ship and come over here, okay, it's going to be expected that you're going to show gratitude that we welcomed you. I'm not mad at anybody wanting to move around, but the part I'm mad at is if you want to move around and go into an environment and be disrespectful to that environment that opened up their home and allowed you in. So I'm hearing that about Canada. A lot of Canadians was like, listen, it's expensive out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. They like, listen, it's hard out. The pimps out here struggling too in Canada. I did not know that it was a thing for the Canadians to cross the border and to come over to the USA to shop because it's cheaper. I didn't hear about that until Trump started talking about this whole tariff things. And I was hearing a woman say, hey, I can't afford to shop in Canada. I have to go on the weekends to Sam's Club. I got to cross the border and go shopping over there because it's cheaper. So now with this whole tariff situation, she's like, I don't know what's going to happen because I can't afford to just rock with Canada. The way my bank account's set up, I ain't got it. She like, listen, I don't know who Tasha K is, but I'm with her. I ain't got it either. Karen, like, I ain't got it either. So from what I've come to know, like the Canadians, they've removed their products, anything that's like American made, like they, some weeks back, they removed that from their shelves. So they're like, listen, that orange juice that we used to accept, that Florida orange juice that everybody loved, yeah, y'all gonna need to acquire a taste for apple juice. I know ain't nobody talking about, I ain't trying to hit apple juice, don't be hitting on nothing, because I don't want no apple juice. But they like, listen, we grow apples. We ain't got the oranges, so you just gonna have to acquire the taste for for this apple juice. You better mix it with mix it up, make you a little cocktail or something. But the orange, ain't no more orange juice, ain't no more orange juice, ain't no more orange juice. Orange juice is gone. So they're like, listen, we're not putting any American goods on our shelves. And from what I've come to learn is a lot of their goods and the things that they have also is from things that is imported into their country. So just like us, where we deal with a lot of things that are imported, they do as well. But I believe, from my understanding, they do deal with probably less importing than we do. See, the U.S. is heavy importing. Canada, I think, got more stuff kind of in-house than we do, but they are going to be impacted, with these tariffs. But they do at least got more things that they do in-house than what we do. Whereas with us, like, we got like 80% of what we got going on. We're relying on other countries to kind of import it in. So that's really where we're going to kind of really feel that impact, because we deal with imports like far more than what we should. Yeah, far more than what we should. So we're going to have to pivot. We're going to have to change that. We're going to have to switch that. What they say, the 80-20 rule. We're going to have to probably switch it to 80% in-house and 20% import. I think that's a good rule probably for everybody to have, because that's how you start to learn to stand on your own and not be dependent on someone else. That's even us individually. You need to primarily be dependent on yourself. If you're an adult, you need to be dependent on yourself. You need to not be relying on someone else if you're an able-bodied person that can get to it. If you're an able-bodied person that can get to it, don't be in a situation that you got to rely on somebody else primarily to get your needs met. That is not a good position, because guess what? A lot of times when people see that that's your position, they start to take advantage of that. They start talking to you all kind of sideways, outside of their neck, talking crazy to you, threatening you, holding stuff over your head. Like, that's just not a good position. That's not a position I wish on anyone. That's not a position I've ever been in. I was raised to not be in that type of position. That's why I'm interdependent. I am married, so I am interdependent, to where within my relationship, I still have a level of independence within the relationship. I'm interdependent because I'm not dependent or codependent on just things, me to be able to have the things that I need in life. And that's just for anyone who's anybody, wherever you are. I said, I need a man. So you want to be interdependent. So within a situation, you want to still be able to hold things down solo dolo if need be. And sometimes your partner, whoever, isn't there all the time. They may be traveling for whatever, and you're by yourself. You need to be able to hold it down if you are alone, and not ball up in a fetal position and waiting for somebody to come save you, or that person to come back home. So we got to do things differently, because clearly this is why we're in this situation. We've put ourselves in a situation to be codependent on other countries. You got some people who are out here fearful of the fact that Trump's playing hardball, and then some of these countries are like calling his bluff. So some people feel like, okay, people collectively are feeling like, okay, Trump, I think you're doing too much. You might want to kind of back off a little bit. But then some people are like, no, like, I'm rocking with you, Trump. Continue to do what you do. They're going to come around. Which one are you? Do you feel like Trump is playing hardball and he kind of need to kind of simmer down some? Or are you here for that pressure that he's putting on these countries? Because he's definitely putting that pressure on. And April 2nd, we're going to see if he's still going to hold true. Because so far, he has held 10 toes down to everything. Only thing that he kind of slacked on is with the tariffs for the big three. A couple of weeks ago, he gave them the 30-day extension for like your big makes, like the Chrysler, like the three big makers here. He said, okay, I'm gonna give you, I can't think of, I know it's like Chrysler. I know Chrysler's one. I don't know, Ford might be one, but the three big makers. He was like, okay, I'm gonna give you 30. They call them, I think, the big three. He's like, I'm gonna give you 30 days because what was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago is, I think, March 12th should have been the date, maybe. I think it might have been that day, but he was supposed to hit him with that one. But anyway, the way it was supposed to have gone down was that he was supposed to have been putting that 25% tariff on those makers who were relying on like imported parts to come in. So like some of these makers, they were relying on these materials and things like steel. So this is when I learned that Canada supplies a lot of like aluminum and things to some of the makers, the vehicle makers here. So they need that, to go onto the cars that got to be assembled here. So it was going to be a 25% tariff assessed. So Trump was like, all right, then I'm going to give y'all 30 days. That 30 days is up. I don't know if when he did that, if that was that March 12th one or if that was that one he did prior to that, because the April 2nd one is going to be really like that third phase, because it was like 3 different dates that he had. And I remember April 2nd, I think, was the last one. March 12th was one, and then there was one prior to that. I don't know if that was maybe around like March 1st or something like that. But he gave a 30-day extension. So I'm not quite sure what's the 30-day, what's that last day of that. But it was like a 30-day extension that he gave them on that. So they were already kind of running scared, because one of the dealers, one of the guys, he's a owner of a dealership up north. And he, at the time when he was being interviewed, he was like, he had this truck. I guess he was in the midst of a deal with selling a truck. And it was normally $80,000, but he was like, after the tariff being added, it was going to take it to like $100,000. This man looked depressed, y'all. He was like, ain't no way I'm going to be able to move my inventory with these tariffs. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So Trump ended up cutting some slack on the big three and said, okay, I'm going to give y'all just 30 days. So I don't know when they 30 days is up, but April 2nd, 25% tariff on all imports for automobile imports. It is what it. Listen, don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say Sheep didn't tell you. It don't be talking about I ain't know. Y'all better like, share, subscribe, because I work hard to keep y'all in the know. Y'all, I had notes. I be going into the lab. I be studying. That's why this is school. This is political school. You're going to learn something when you leave here. You're going to learn something. You might be pissed off at me, but you're going to learn something. You're going to learn. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today. Y'all going to learn. Y'all are the honor students. We learn. We elevate over here. It's a lot. I've hit you all with a lot. Some of you all may have joined the live later. I encourage you to be a part of the replay game. Replay this. You may need to watch it, rewind faster, do whatever you need to do. Drop a comment on my videos. I like to read comments. I will read your comments. It's a lot going on. I work hard to try to understand the different things that are going on. What this channel is not about, it's not about bashing, but what I will talk about, I will talk about the things that are going on and my opinions of what is going on. And when I talk about it, some of my opinions are favorable for the Trump administration and some are not. For the most part, my opinions that aren't favorable, or my unfavorable opinions are centered around like the job losses with the government job losses. I'm not here for that. I mean, I'm here for, I guess, if you got to do your moving around, but I'm not here for literally overnight just thousands of people out of their jobs due to just poor performance, when that's not the truth of the matter. It's a matter of you just want to save money. Just say what it is. If you want to get rid of these people, just stand on it and be like, yo, we ain't got it. We on our Tasha K. We don't have it. Just say that. Don't come up with some other reason that's centered around that person. They wasn't doing what they supposed to do, when it's not that. When you know it's on some other type of stuff. Just stand on it. So that's my grievance, with the Trump administration when it comes to that. Just stand on it. Stand 10 toes down. But when it comes to this immigration, I am here for it. When it comes to the tariffs and how he's handling that, I'm here for that. because I understand he's trying to strengthen our nation. He's wanting to bring jobs back. And as I've run down, there are people, there are businesses that are starting to fall in line and say, yo, I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And in return, they're not going to be hit with the 25% tariff. It's a win-win for everyone, right? It's a win-win for everyone. Ronald says, yes, USA does not have bauxite, which is a key ingredient in aluminum manufacturing. We cannot make aluminum without the outside source in Canada. It's the closest and the cheapest supplier. It's going to be real different out here. Ramona King says, I do pray that Trump can get us together because we are too separated right now. We are all Americans. That's the prayer. Jeremy Taylor says, cheap hydro makes aluminum available in Canada. The U.S. does not have excess electricity. We about to see. We are about to see. Trump's like, listen, from what he's come to see and come to learn, there is more probably that we can do than what many of us believe that we can't. And because he's maybe knows some things that we don't know, I feel like that's why he's pushing hard. But we will see. Happy says, people are just not going to buy American if they feel like it's going to cost them money. I agree. We will see that. We will see that it is definitely going to be an impact. Other companies are starting to come together and band together because they feel like, oh, America's coming for us, so we need to band together. I know Canada and I think China are coming together. Like, you know, they're coming together really hard when it comes to this oil. So other companies are banding together. I feel like Trump, he has a plan. I don't know the details of his plan. I'm just really sitting in trust and faith that he and his team know what they're doing. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a win for us, and which means that we are going to be sitting a better, stronger and better. Fish said, not pissed at you. I can't stand Trump or Musk or what they are doing or stand for, except that something must be done about the border. So Fish like, listen, I ain't with none of what they got going on, but this border thing, I'm here for the border thing. Here, it be like that to where there are some things that you are here for that somebody's doing, and then there's some that you're not. And that's how I am when it comes to the Trump administration. I'm not 100% here for everything, but I'm here for a good bit of it, you know, so, and that's okay. It is okay. Ramona says, America can make things here. We can do this. Stand strong. I believe we can too. I believe that we've been told for many years of what we can't do. So we haven't been doing it. But Trump knows otherwise. And he's like, no, it can be done. It's a matter of, do people want to do it? A lot of times people want to just continue doing what they've been doing. They just want to stay in their comfort zone, especially other countries, because it's been beneficial to them. But he's like, okay, I understand how it's been beneficial to you historically, but really it hasn't been as beneficial to us as it would be if we were to just take back our power or control and do it at home. It's like, hey, baking a cake, yeah, I mean, you got the ability to do it at home, but it's more convenient for you to go out and just buy it. But there's a lot of benefits to just doing it at home. There's a lot of benefits to doing it at home. A lot of times to do something outside is centered around convenience. A lot of times it's more beneficial for you to take back the control and do it yourself. But out of convenience, you choose to go and let's have somebody else do it. It's more convenient for me to pay the landscaper to come and do my yard versus, like, you know, doing that herself. My husband doing it himself. It's more convenient. You know, my husband you got to take the time out. You got a job. It's like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather outsource that. You know, let's take something off my plate, because you all, that's what the difference between the haves and the have-nots. The haves have the resources to outsource. They just pay, because when you get to a certain point financially, you're able to pay for comfort. You're able to pay for comfort. The USA have paid for comfort. And the question is, Do we got it like that to be paying for comfort like that? No, we got all this debt. One thing I hadn't told you all, I had forgot in the previous lives, but I might have told y'all, I don't know. But you know the gold cards that Trump was selling for the rich to come over here to get like a visa? So it's like the green card, but it's the gold card. It said that there's been 1,000 of them sold already. So that's the thing. I don't know. I haven't heard Trump yet come out and speak on it, but I've seen articles talking about, I think the head of his commerce, that guy who said that his mother-in-law said that she wouldn't fret if she didn't get her Social Security deposit. Y'all remember when I did that live? If y'all know what I'm talking about, check out one of my lives. I think it was probably my Tuesday live. The guy over the commerce, can't think of his name right now, but he said that 1,000 of the gold cards have been sold, and remember they're sold at $5 million a pop. So he said 1,000 of them have already been sold. So Trump was saying the reason why he wanted to have, implement this new program with selling the gold cards, that's what he's creating, the gold cards, is because it would help to decrease our debt. Y'all know it's in the trillions. Y'all don't ask me how much the debt is. I know it's some number that's too high, I can't count, that my calculator don't go up to. But our debt is some crazy number in the trillions. So the idea behind the gold card is to take that money and apply it towards the balance. So supposedly this guy that's a part of the Trump administration, he's saying 1,000 of them has already been sold. So remember, they're $5 million a pop. So I don't know, what is that, around $1 billion already when you do the math on that? Can't remember what was said, what the math is, but y'all can do the math. If 1,000 have already been sold, so if we were to kind of continue that, how many gold cards do you all think that we can sell? 5 trillion. What's up, Ivan? Ivan says 1,000 gold cards at $5 million a piece is $5 trillion. $5 trillion. Thank you for that. Thank you. $5 trillion. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Are you all here for the gold card plan? Are y'all here for it? Because he said, listen, we got to get this number down. We got to get out of debt. And this is what he's come up with. From what I've learned, other countries offer similar type of programs where you pay like you weigh. You pay a good bit of money and you can come over there. Ivan says that's supposed to go directly into that debt. Yes. So what I hear is that other countries do this. It's not like, oh, U.S. doing something that ain't never been done before. It's other countries do this as well, where they, they sell these, it's almost like a citizenship. So what he's saying is, with the gold card, is not making you a citizen, but it's kind of putting you on that fast track, kind of like the front of the line, to be able to get your citizenship. And what he's also saying is, so these people who would be buying these gold cards are likely like they're business owners. So what he's hoping is that these rich people that come over here, they bring their businesses, and then they're able to bring their team, and they're able to set up shop, which is going to create jobs. This is going to create jobs. So remember, that's been heavy in the media with people losing their jobs. Like, what are people going to do now that they don't have these government jobs? Now that they don't have these jobs with the education system, what are they going to do? So this is creating opportunities for companies to come over here, set up shop, and start employing people. So that was the whole plan. Let me see what we got. Ann says he's not going to use that money for the national debt. What do you think he'll use it for? And Ivan says, so 36 trillion in debt. He reduced the debt over 10%. Happy says, we'll see. The debt is publicly available. So, I mean, if he's doing that, it should be going down. We should see it. We should see it. So watch it, just look out for it, because this is what's been said. Okay, King Roo said it's 5 billion, not trillion. Okay, 5 billion. Fish says, oh, Social Security, Medicare, that's my soapbox. How do they rationalize that stuff if a grown American pays into Social Security for their entire life should not receive the benefit? I am here. I'm with you on that. I do feel like if you're paying into Social Security, you should very well receive the benefit. Right now, from what I'm hearing the Trump administration say, they're saying that uh, people who rightfully deserve the Social Security, they will still get it. They are doing the deep dive, doing all these audits, but they are saying, listen, if you're supposed to get it, you're going to get it. We looking at these people who collecting it that shouldn't be collecting it. I don't know. This is what they're saying as far as what the mission is. What I do know is like a lot of people who are collecting Social Security, the seniors and things like that, and happen to report to these Social Security offices to take care of business, they're unhappy right now. They're feeling very inconvenienced because now the expectation is for them to show up in person when they need to handle business versus it being, things that take place through, like, say, the mail, electronically. I reported a couple of weeks ago in some states or across the nation, Social Security offices have closed down. In my state of Georgia, I think they said we've had the most offices closed. We have 5 closed. There are 2 of them like that, not that far from me, but there's been 5 that's closed in the state of Georgia. So when I learned of that, my mind went to, okay, the inconvenience of those people who have to take care of business and may have to report to an office and having to drive further out to another office that would be the closest office, even if it may not be nearby. And from what I'm hearing, there are people who are driving 100 plus miles just to get to their nearest Social Security office. Where I live, we have Social Security offices that are kind of, to me, I feel like there's one probably in every county. I've always been kind of within 20 minutes of one, 30 minutes of one. So the idea of 100 plus miles to get to like an office, and when I say a Social Security office, I'm talking about even like an unemployment office, those state offices. And a lot of times those places are kind of near one another, like they're kind of in a certain area. So like it's never been very far that I've had to go to, that I had to drive to get to like one of those state government, offices. So it is very disheartening for someone to have to drive 100 plus miles. To me, someone having to drive, I would say more than 20 miles, 30 miles. I think that's just too much, but that is what's happening right now. And then what I'm learning is that when people show up to these offices, there's long lines wrapped around the corner. Even before the layoff and the closing of a lot of these offices, people have said, like people who have worked in these offices or lived near these offices have said that it was already lines wrapped around the building where people, like for people who weren't reporting to these offices to take care of business, it was already an issue with like not enough staff and things like that. So now with the reduction in staff, it's going to just make it that much worse. If anything, they felt like when it came to those type of services that we actually were in need of more staff because of the number of people that was coming through there. I think I heard an attorney say every day about 12,000 it's about 12,000 people, I think, applying for Social Security like benefits. That's a lot. And then I think he said when he used to work for Social Security office, he was like on his desk, he'd have 150 to 200 files on his desk of just people's, I guess, information that he needed to kind of look through for whatever reason. And that was back prior to cutting these jobs. So he's like, we definitely aren't in a situation where we need to be, cutting down the head count. We actually need to be adding more to it. So Fish says 12,000, that's a lot. Yeah, that's what he said. He's an attorney. But yeah, he says about 12,000 people a day. A day. I believe he said a day. 12,000 people a day that are applying for the benefits. So what's happening, what I learned is that a lot of these people are saying when they call the phone number, it's not working. Some of these people said they have physically showed up to some of these offices, waited in line for hours or whatever. By the time it's their turn, when they talk to somebody, the person tells them, oh, we can't help you. You got to call the number. That number that they say that isn't working, that person is like, the number doesn't work. Imagine you going somewhere, standing in line for hours, finally getting a chance to talk to somebody, and they tell you, oh, you need to call the number. That has set anybody off. When I say I would not want to be a government worker right now, especially at the Social Security office, I would not want to be an employee there because they are just the messenger. But you know, a lot of times you're going to feel that smoke, get that heat just because you're there. You catching it straight because you're the one that have to deliver the message. And the message not being delivered over the phone. The message is being delivered face to face. The message is being delivered face to face. So this is what's happening to some of these people. Also, what I'm learning is what's happening to some of these people is that they're showing up to these buildings. They're standing in line and the building is closing before their turn comes. So they done stood in line, but let's just say if the building closed at 5 o'clock, you didn't get to the front of the line in time. So guess what? You gotta come back the next business day when they're open. And a lot of people, especially like older people, they don't drive. They may not have cars. A lot of them say they can't afford it because I've heard some older people talk about, I can't afford to have a car because I'm on a limited budget. My Social Security check, I don't have enough to pay for the car insurance. So I can't have a car. So a lot of these people are having to get a ride up to these places. So imagine if your closest building is 100 miles out. You got to try to line up a ride for somebody to give you a ride there. And guess what? They got to sit there with you because you're going to need to wait back home, right? So they're sitting there with you while you wait in line to be seen, only to be told that you need to call that number that ain't working. Because the way the Trump administration is saying, the way, I'm calling Doge, administration, whoever, what they're saying is that when you call the number, you have to go through this whole screening process. And if you can't get through the clearance of the screening process, that's when you then have to physically show up. But a lot of people are saying, hey, that number, it just ain't even working. So it's not working. So everyone is having to show up to the office. Crazy, yo, crazy. So yes, Fish, I'm with you. If you worked hard, you paid into it. Anybody who's working right now, American, 9 times out of 10 right now, you're paying into something centered around Social Security, especially if you got an employer, you pay a W-2, you're paying into that. Yes, the expectation should be you receive Social Security, but I'm going to tell you for the last probably 10, 15 years, I've been having conversations with people centered around by the time it's time for me to benefit from it, it's not going to be a thing. So it's not going to be a surprise for it to not be available by the time I get there because I'm only 44 years old. I've been having conversations with people about it not being around since I probably was in my early 30s. So it's already in the back of my mind that may not be a thing. So I have to line up other things, other ways of just bringing in income to be able to save and set aside because Social Security just may not be an option for me when that time comes because the government like we ain't got it. We ain't got it. Government like I ain't got it. What do you do? It's just not going to appear out of thin air. You can get in your feelings and get mad all you want, but the writing's on the wall. So the best we can do is try to prepare for that to be a thing. That's the best we can do. Work, do whatever you can as far as when it comes to generating multiple streams of income because one is no longer enough. Even if you're in a double in household with 2 working adults, that's not even enough for, I would probably say, majority of the American households. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's hard. Listen, it's hard. It's hard. Ivan says you should have a 401k and your own retirement savings. And a lot of people don't have 401ks. I agree. I have those things, but I do know a lot of people don't have those things, especially people who work for themselves. A lot of people don't even have medical benefits. There are a lot of people who don't, like, a lot of entrepreneurs don't have medical benefits. They're working for themselves, but they don't have medical benefits. They say that they can't afford it. They can't afford it. A lot of people who work, who probably get a W-2, probably don't even pay into medical benefits because they need to bring home everything. Listen, I ain't got it. Hashtag, I ain't got it. Ronald says, if higher income people had to pay Social Security tax like us workers do, Social Security would be fully funded. Heather said, Trump said he's buying Canada. Listen, okay. Listen, Trump said, listen, we taking Canada, we taking Denmark. Trump treating these places like they on the clearance shelf. Ain't nobody said we for sale or nothing. Trump like, oh, well, I know you didn't put this item on the clearance, but I feel in my soul it was about to hit the clearance anyway by Tuesday. So I'm here on Sunday. So to save me a trip back, let's just go ahead and broker that deal today. Like, Trump is being proactive. He's being proactive. Like, listen, player, I know what your bottom line look like. If you don't stop playing games. If you don't stop playing games. What's up, Natalie King? You said, which we don't. There is nothing else that can be done to us. We are built for this. I trust God and I follow him, not Peanut and Ray Ray. Sorry, those to please watch God work. Mark my word. Watch God work. Fish says, I've told my kids not to count on Social Security being there. Love, we ain't got it. We ain't got it. I mean, Fish, you doing the right thing. You know, my mother is close to retirement age, and she talks about, so she works for Amazon, and she says that she works with so many people who have come out of retirement to come back to work. She said these people are in their 70s. Like, she was like, listen, Amazon take everybody. You got people in wheelchairs, people on a walker. Listen, Amazon, like, listen, if you can utilize them hands, listen, we can do the rest. Somebody can push you around. Listen, come on over here. We got a job for you. But she said, yes, a lot of people have been forced to come out of retirement because it's not enough. Remember, the cost of living is going up. But that has no bearing on, like, your Social Security, your checks that you collected, that, what do you call that? That income that you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, where it's just that consistent income, where with the Social Security check, like, that doesn't change. That's just a deposit. So regardless of the cost of living going up, if your check each month is $1,300, that's just what it is. It, you know, it's not the government not going back and doing an audit and assessment. Now, what I'm hearing, y'all, speaking of audit and assessment, I'm hearing the Trump administration is working on increasing that, doing what I'm saying that hasn't been taking place, where they're saying, yo, we need to put some more money on that because the cost of living is too much, to where the cost of living is going this way, but the people's checks are still down here. We got to close in that gap. So what I'm hearing is that, I can't remember the dollar amount, though. You all, it's so much information that I come across. But those people who are collecting these checks right now, the Social Security checks, they're, if the Trump administration get their way, those people are going to receive a pretty significant increase. I cannot remember. Well, I got my laptop. Maybe I can look it up. I can't remember how much it is. But they're trying to increase the amount of Social Security for people. Let me see what comes up. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see, because I was hearing talks that they were wanting to try to propose with kind of putting some more money on it to help people out. But as of right now, when I'm doing my search, let me see. They said most people receive under $2,000 a month. So about $1,975 a month. Can you imagine, say you ain't got your job, You done working and you're living off of Social Security, and that check a month is $2,000. What you finna do with that? Rent right now is $2,000. So where is the money for the food, the money for the gas, the money for the utilities, the money for clothes, the money for medical benefits? Where is that coming from if they say most people bring in under $2,000 a month? How, Sway? Like what? Listen, Linda, listen. Janet says, I get 1457. Janet, yep, well, they said, I was about to say, Janet, you on the high end, but no, that's under 2,000. So remember, my mom at Amazon, she said there are so many people who have come out of retirement. Heather said, 940 a month. Lord Jesus. Y'all better start y'all up a YouTube channel. Get y'all some super chats. Get monetized. Crazy. Crazy. That's insane. That is insane. What do you do with that? Janet, Heather, talk about it. What do you do with that? How are you getting by? Are you living with someone? Because you dang sure can't stay in, like in Georgia, they got these fancy 55 plus communities popping up everywhere. I don't know who's staying in them. I don't know who over there living in them. How do you afford it? They nice too. Like these retirement, how many of y'all in y'all states, y'all see those little retirement places where you got the assisted living places? I remember years ago when my late father-in-law was still living, my husband and his mother and father-in-law, they visited one, and I think it was about $8,000 a month. They said it was nice. It was nice. They even had the nerve to say, listen, and if he stays here, we need to have access to his retirement account so we can go into that every month and debit out the $8,000. Yes, that's what I said. They said, yeah, we have to have access to be able. It wasn't optional. They said, Birch said, nice. They real nice. They nice, y'all. They said that we need to have access to be able to get our money out of the account. So you're going to need to go ahead and leave that password in the paperwork. So when we need a debit on the 1st to get the $8,000 payment for all it is, because it's nice, right? It's nice. You got to pay for this. It's nice. You 8,000. Who's affording this? Who is affording to live? Who's able to afford to live in these environments? It don't sound like the person in here who said they getting $1,400 or $950 a month. It don't sound like they can afford it. Who can afford it? Who can afford it? Ivan said we're going to have an uptake in geriatrics only fan out. Listen, folks who have to do what they got to do. I done already told people here, listen, y'all better set y'all up a little account. And I ain't going to even tell y'all to do TikTok, because remember, TikTok was only on this little 90-day y'all know how you get a 90-day probation? Look, TikTok had 90 days. From what I hear, the 90 days is about to be up. Remember when Trump had extended it? For 90 days. Remember, it got shut down for about 12 hours. People down lost their mind for them 12 hours. Was ready to risk it all. Them people was hooping and hollering when they learned TikTok was about to go away. Oh, they was hooping and hollering, making videos. Well, TikTok came back up, 12 hours later. Trump did it on, listen, you got 90 days to get your affairs in order. They had 90 days. From my understanding, we're near, the 90 days is near. I think the 90 days is sometime in the first week of April. Y'all let me know in the comments, when is the 90 days up? I believe the 90 days is up, or maybe around February, January, February, March. I don't know, maybe around April 4th, 5th, because y'all know they got the whole national, everybody get on the picket line April 5th. Everybody get out there and just talk your talk day. Well, whatever your grievances is, you talk your talk on April 5th. That's supposed to be that day. Next Saturday? Any of y'all participating with that? That's that day. TikTok. So I ain't gonna even tell y'all to set up a TikTok, but listen, YouTube, you might want to get your little YouTube situation popping off and just talk about your struggles. Talk about your struggles, because that's what pretty much people have been doing on their social media. And they're getting a lot of clicks and views. They're just talking about their struggles today. Like, talk your talk. What's going on with you? Everybody got a story. Give your testimony. Inspire somebody or tell the people, listen, I'm out here with you. I'm struggling too. Are you living in your car? So many people are living in their car. Even famous people. Famous people are living in their car. Dawn from the music group In Vogue came out a few weeks ago saying she'd been living in her car for 3 years. It's hard out here. Like, this is no exaggeration. It's people are struggling out here. Hold on, let me put my charger on. Try to, okay. It's hard out here. And I know it's hard, and I come out here and I talk about it, but I talk in a way to where it's not about putting any fear. It's coming from, I come to you all to make you aware of what's going on. That's what it's centered around. Awareness. It's awareness. I come out here and I talk to you all about things that are to come. That's to give hope. Okay. Yes, they saying jobs are, a lot of people are losing their jobs, but I talk to you about places, companies who are saying, hey, we're about to set up shop, which means that's going to be job opportunities. So I want to give the people hope because I know it's hard. But I want to paint a picture of the reality of the situation as well. So therefore, you got the information and you can go and make it do what it do, however you need to make it do what it do. In the meantime, double tap the screen, hit the like button. Got 122 people in here, 85 likes. Hit the like button. If you have a comment you really want me to see, drop a super chat. Don't matter how much it is. It's going to be in color and it's going to pop up and I will see your comment. But I do welcome each and every one of you. Hi, my name is Chic. I talk my talk. I talk about just politics, other stuff too, but as of late, politics, because it's just been just heavy. Like, to me, what's more important right now than what's going on with the state of our economy? I'm just saying. I don't know. It's hard to be talking about crazy Kanye right about now when folks without jobs, gas prices, people struggling to put food on the table. I'm just saying. The rich gonna do them. The rich gonna be all right. They gonna do them. They gonna do them. I come out here to try to hit the people on my level, the regular folks, of what's going on so we can do our best to prepare. Zay says, when has the economy been good? It's been a very long time. It's been a very, very long time. I personally feel like the economy was good in the early 2000s. And the reason why I say that, I just remember back then as a teenager and a young adult hearing talks of, if you need a job or want a job, come to Georgia. Everybody got a job in Georgia. Georgia is the place to be. So many people were picking up moving here. It was just a place to where if you wanted to be successful, you can come. Georgia, it had the reputation of, well, if you didn't have a job, you just didn't want a job. Georgia had that reputation of, if you found yourself without a job just like that before your first unemployment check hit, you had another job. I remember those days. I'm only 44. I remember those days in my early 20s. So that was the early 2000s. I graduated high school in 99. I remember those days. So I'm going to say late 90s. Well, we'll just say 90s, going into early 2000s, pre 2005. For me, that was good. So good for me may be not, good for someone else. It may be subjective. But for me and living in Georgia, that was good. You all can talk about in here, drop it in the chat. When's the last time you felt the economy was good? Like, when were you getting to it, not feeling like life was a struggle? It might have been a bit. Some of you probably don't have a memory of that. It also depends on how old you are. So again, like I said, I'm 44. Someone who's much younger than me probably like, oh, it's been bad since I could remember, which makes sense if you're younger than me. But to me, if you're older than me, you should have memories of there being times definitely better than now. Ivan says Georgia was able to get a lot of entertainment businesses by giving tax incentives to that industry. Okay. Fish says, look, if you want a job, they are out there. However, it might not be what you want. That part, that's what I talk about with a lot of these automobile opportunity, working in the automotive industry. There are job opportunities. It's just a matter of if it's what you want. And sometimes it comes a time to where I once heard someone say, y'all ever follow the content creator Willie D? So Willie D used to be a rapper. He was a part of the Ghetto Boys. And he said, he's like, back in the day, he said he used to work at KFC. And he was like, I was mean with the chicken. He was like, people was strategic. Like, they would go out of their way to come to my location at KFC. And he was like, but I aspired to be a rapper. He was like, I wanted to be a rapper. But he was like, I had to do what I didn't want to do in order to get to the place to where I can do what I wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? Let me repeat. He said, I had to do what I didn't want to do in order to position myself to do what I wanted to do. So that means sometimes we got to do what we don't want to do to set ourselves up for the better day. Like, say, school, education. Some people have gone to school, doctors, lawyers, whoever, they went to school for a really long time. A lot of times it wasn't centered like, oh, I just wanted to go to school. I just love school like that. That's even including myself. It's not like I wanted to go to school like that. It's just that I did what I had to do to set myself up for the better days to come for tomorrow. You know what? You do what you got to do today in order to do what you want to do tomorrow. I think that's what he said. You do what you got to do today so you can do what you want to do tomorrow. And that's what it's about. So some of these job opportunities that may be out here right now, it may not be what you want to do today, but it can very well set you up to do what you want to do later down the line. You do what you got to do, especially if you got a family, And so many people right now who don't even have families or they're empty nesters, say like my mom, she's single, her children are grown. She's still having to work far harder than she feel like she should, in her early 60s. It's because it's like it's so hard out here to where she's an example of someone who was forced into like an early retirement working for her company during the pandemic, working for the airlines, and they offer early retirement packages because they needed to shave head counts. So she had to retire early, like in late 50s, which means she still had to go back to work. So there are a lot of people who are being forced into an early retirement even though they can't afford it. They can't afford it. So guess what? You got these companies that are saying, hey, we taking volunteers. And guess what? If enough people don't raise their hand to volunteer, guess what? Y'all ever heard of the word voluntold? You're going to be voluntold that you got to go. You're going to be voluntold that you have to go. That's what that means. Why? Because everybody on that, I ain't got it. These companies who are cutting head counts, it's not just, oh, they just waking up and they just want to. It's money. It's money. They're like, I can't afford it anymore. I got to do what I got to do. I got to cut head counts. I got to learn how to do more with less. How many of you work in an environment right now where you're seeing that more with less, where the head count is being reduced, but you see that workload still there? Some of you may work in environments where you're seeing the workload just not there like it used to. Like I said, my mother works for Amazon. She's like, the workload, it's not like it's slow. They be, pretty much constantly saying, hey, you don't have to come in. You want to go home? You don't have, we won't hold it against you if you don't work your shift or whatever, because people aren't placing orders the way they used to. So they don't need all those bodies in the building anymore at the warehouses moving packages because they're not coming in like that. So therefore, anybody that you see in that building, they're on the clock. So Amazon, these are like, gee, I know I got $1 billion, but I don't want to be just paying out money when I ain't got to. That's just the mindset of just a business person. You don't want to be paying out overhead that you don't have to. It has to make sense. So right now, within these Amazon work environments, you got more headcount staff than the work that's coming in. And guess what? People don't want to leave their shift and not go to work because they want to still get paid. Because it's just like, I need this money, especially if they don't have like vacation time or anything to where if they don't come in, they'll still get paid. Some people don't have the time to where, okay, well, if I don't go in, I got this time I can utilize. Some people are in a situation where if I don't go to work, I don't make money because I don't have any vacation time. So I have to go to work. They're going to have to force me not to come in, because a lot of times with companies, if you come in and they force you to leave, they still got to pay you. But if they extend an opportunity to say, hey, you don't have to come in, then that's when they don't have to pay you. It's on you. You can be like, oh, okay, I'm going to use my own time. But if you're there and they say, yo, look, Adam, we don't need you, go home, they don't have to pay you. They can stop paying you. You see how it works? They can say, go ahead and clock out. So they going to pay you up until however many hours you work for that day. Adam says you're already rich if you have Jesus. We rich in spirit. We rich in spirit. We just got to bring it into 3D, right? Ronald says, sorry to hear that, Janet. We just buried my friend who died of cancer. Carmonia listed in writing Ozempic caused it. Wow. His spouse has court case open. Doctors are not talking about the hazard. I heard that I seen some things out there centered around the Ozempic, and it just not being the move. Is not being the move. Fish says, I bet I show up for my shift. I know that's right, and that's what's happening. People are showing up for their shift. And when you show up for your shift, then it's like Amazon, like, listen, that's on you. But a lot of people aren't taking advantage of, oh, okay, not coming, because they can't afford to. A lot of times you got those young people who will take advantage of it, but a lot of them still live at home with their parents. They don't know what responsibility is, or if they get short on their bills, they gonna text or call the listen, I got a niece, she do it all the time. A lot of the young people, they just go hit up their family members when they fall short at the end of the month on their bills, and not go in and get them hours. But people, mature people who understand responsibility, you gonna show up for that shift. You're gonna show up for that shift and get them hours. Virtuous says, Ronald, wait, what Ozempic, is that true? Because so many people are in danger. Sorry for your loss. You said at 67. We just got to be careful out here. People out here just trying to be skinny. They risking it all to be skinny. Ivan says, people need to learn to live within their means. Stop trying to impress people who don't care about you. Budget effectively. Keeping up with the Joneses. Keeping up with the Joneses. I mean, that's a thing. I think that's an American culture thing, really, to be honest. I don't know how other countries move, but I definitely see, here. Because I think even other countries, they try to mimic what they think how we as Americans live or do. I think, we're the trendsetters. So, it's that whole keeping up with the Joneses energy. And it's going to have you on a soup line. It's going to have you on a soup line and at the Amazon at 85. Adam says, turn it all in. I don't want nothing anymore. You can have my clothes. So, Jenna says, I'm just keeping up with Jesus. I know that's right. Like, listen, I always say we out here on a wing and a prayer. We are all out here on a wing and a prayer. We all doing the best we can. And with that being said, please double tap, hit the like button, hit the like button. We in here deep today. Hit the like button. We all out here on a wing and prayer. We're out here doing the best we can. And I truly believe that the Trump administration, each and every one of them are doing the best that they can. Everybody doing the best they can. And guess what? Sometimes it's just not enough or we fall short. It be like that. Ronald said it actually caused cancer in his duodenum intestines. Basically came on very quick. We got to take care. I always say we got to take care of ourselves and one another. That's we got to pay attention to these foods and the ingredients in these foods. That's what Robert F. Kennedy, what his position in Trump's administration is. He's tasked with paying attention to what's in the foods. Like, what are we taking in? I think they said that there was once upon a time that there would be like, I think they said maybe 30 kids a year that may have, what was that stat that they talked about? I think 30 kids a year that might get diagnosed with autism, but now it's like 30,000 or something, some crazy number. So the question is, why is there such a jump? And I've always felt like it was in the foods, even with how the kids are growing, how they're bigger in weight and things like that. It's just a lot of unhealthy things in the food. So as I say, we have to really start reading the package, the things that are on the packages of the products that we purchase, the foods that we consume. Like, that time is here. That time is here. We should have been doing it, but we weren't. But because of just the cost of things, I think now we're going to be forced to have to really start looking at the labels more, because we are going to want to know where things are coming from, because it's going to need to make sense for us when we it's going to need to make sense for us when we're trying to make the decision on if we want to purchase this or not. Because if it's not coming from here, guess what? It's going to have that added, a lot of times it's going to have that added tariff on it. And guess what? You're going to be paying that tariff fee, because it's going to be trickled down to you as the consumer. That is what's going to happen. So you have the decision on whether or not you want to still purchase that item or move around and try to buy something else, right? You know, we all have a choice. We all have a choice, and we're going to have to exercise those choices more so than ever. Angel West said vaccines, food, and environment. Yes, vaccines. I'm an anti-vax type person you're looking at. I'm anti. But listen, you do what's best for you. But just understand, it's important for each and every one of you to understand what it is that you are being asked to put into your bodies and your baby's bodies. You just got to understand. Research for yourself. Don't go off of what somebody told you, or go off of, okay, well, your neighbor said they did it, or even go off of, well, your mama did it or your mama daddy, because a lot of kids these days are more in tune with what's going on with things than their parents. A lot of like your young kids, early 20s, like they tapped in. And you know, the mama and daddy who in their 40s plus, they're not tapped in. So just because mama and daddy is moving a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best way. So I encourage each and every one of you to do your own research. Angel says, I'm new to your channel. I love it. Thank you so much, Angel. I'm happy to have you all here. Please, I just ask if you just hit the like button. It's the little things for me. Just hit the like button. You can double tap the screen if you all are on your cell phones. But yeah, I just say to just do your own research. A lot of people have made decisions simply based off of what somebody else did, and that's the only explanation as to why they did what they did. Well, my employer said that I had to in order to keep my job, or my mama said I had to if I wanted to still stay in her house. My college said I had to if I wanted to attend university. This is a situation. This is a situation for many people to where they allowed for someone else to make that decision for them, and they have to live with it. And some of these people, it's consequences that they're living with, because the decision that they made, it had a lifelong impact on their life, and it's no going back. So there's no going back. There's no going back. You know, we live and we learn. We live and we learn, but we have to be strategic. We have to be intentional about how we move out here. The days of being led by somebody else are long gone. You better research for yourself. I tell you all, I deep dive before I go on live. You know, I form these questions in my head. I look for answers and I bring them to you. And I come to you with just my basic understanding. And then I collaborate with you all and you all, talk to me about what your understanding is. And we just bounce ideas from one another. You know, we learn. That's what it's about. We come together. I want you all to know that this is not a divisive environment. This is not a red against blue environment. This is not it. This is an environment for you to come to be able to express yourself about what's been going on, for you to be able to talk about how you've been impacted by it. That's that. And do it in a respectful way. My moderators, I have 3 awesome moderators. They will only get you out of here if you go against my rule, and that's the rule of being disrespectful. If you're disrespectful, then you got to go. It's no tolerance for disrespect. But if you just have a difference in opinion, that's fine. Just be respectful. It's the little things. Just be respectful. That's all it's about. But I know a lot of environments, it is centered around, okay, you need to talk my talk, otherwise you get out of here. That's not what it is. And many of you have been here before, and you know that's not what it is. That's why you come back. So definitely like, share, and subscribe so you can come back. I'm a smaller content creator. I'm growing. This is my second channel. I have another channel that's actually larger than this, but this channel I've been spending a lot of time on, so it may very well grow to be larger than the other channel. But if you want to check out my other channel is Chic Speaks. This channel is Chic Speaks on it. I started this channel like less than a year ago. My other channel I started in like 2020. So it has like over 2,000 subscribers on there. It's a monetized channel. This channel, we just hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers on Sunday. We're growing. We're growing. We'll be at a 2,000 probably very soon before the month of April is out. We'll be there, which is awesome. The channel's now monetized. You can send me super chats if there is a message you want to get to me so I can see it. Put some color in the chat. You can put in the super chat. It'll be in color and I'll see it. It'll pop up at the top. I'll shout you out and then read your comments. So that's how that goes. You can also just hit the like button. We got 76 people in. We got 98 likes. If you can do me a solid, double tap the screen. It helps with the algorithm, circulate the message. So therefore, I can be seen by more people around the world because we're trying to spread the message. I just want people to just feel more hopeful than what they do, because I do understand that a lot of people are feeling very defeated right now, and they're being moved by sight, because if we go by sight, like it's very ugly. It is. I'm not going to even hold you. It's very ugly out here. If we go off of what we're seeing, it's very ugly. But if you go by faith, if you move by faith and keep the faith that we will see better days, and that the higher power has us, a higher power has you, and you, then that helps. That helps. Also, if you do need help with your mental health, I do have products that I sell. They're sold on Amazon. You can access the links to those products from any of my previous posted videos. You can also go to my community page and find the links as well. But there are adult coloring books for mental health, stress, anxiety. I have journals. Journaling is awesome, to just get your thoughts out. Sometimes you just may want to write it out. I have notebooks, and these products are catered to both adults and children. So check them out. These products range from $5.99 to $7.99. $5.99 to $7.99. They're all on Prime. And yeah, so I really, really enjoyed making these products. And the reason why I created these products is because I wanted to offer something out there for people who are just struggling. Mental health is my background. I have a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. So that means that from an educational standpoint, like I could be like a therapist, set up shop, be like, yo, come lay on my couch, run me my X amount of dollars an hour. What's going on? What's going on? I have the education to be able to do that. But I choose to show up and give and serve in this form, and on the internet by talking to you all, as well as helping those whom I encountered in my day-to-day. That's just how I choose to show up and share my gift. Like, I no longer choose to want to offer it by running your insurance, running your debit card. Like, I don't want to do it that way. I want to help out by reaching people through the internet, by reaching people by just rubbing elbows with them, getting into conversations, them letting me know what's going on with them through casual conversation, and then me just helping them how I can. Because my education is in clinical mental health counseling, so when it comes to your PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety, like, that is what I learned. So I recognize those things. I know things that help with when it comes to dealing with any of those type of conditions. That's what I studied. That's what I've worked with people who struggle with any of those. So when I see people, like in my real life, I'm assessing them. Like, I never stop assessing people. So I'm assessing them. And then, and based on however long the conversation goes, I'm thinking about, okay, what's going on with them, potential things that, potential ways that maybe they can maybe work through those things. Like, it's just going through my head, because if the more I understand the person that's before me, it's my protector. I know how to move. I know how to move. So I'm assessing them. So therefore, okay, if I'm picking up that someone is struggling with mental health, it's having me to maybe even give them the benefit of doubt because I'm picking up mental health struggles. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes if you see that, okay, somebody's struggling, or sometimes you may know somebody is struggling with mental health. So you're factoring that into how you're going to respond to them versus you ain't even factoring in that they got mental health and you're just responding to them as though they know better. It makes a difference if you're aware to where this is a person that's not well. You're not going to really get in your feelings like that on that level if you're aware that, okay, this person is struggling with mental health. So because they're struggling with mental health, I'm not going to really take it as personal as I would if I knew, okay, somebody just was maliciously doing this. You know what I'm saying? So this is why as I come encounter with people, I'm assessing them. So therefore I know, like, what boundaries to create, how to move around them. It's my protector. This is how I protect myself. So I still utilize like what my skills centered around mental health, but this is how I utilize it. I utilize it when it comes to building my relationships with people, understanding maybe in what their needs may be at the time. Maybe I'm picking up this person's depressed. They don't have supports. They don't have friends. They don't have family. I'm picking that up. So therefore, I'm kind of feeding into that, trying to maybe be that friend to them, giving them, being supportive, saying encouraging words that they may have never been told. Because there are so many people out here who are not being, they're not being uplifted. That may be some of you where no one's saying encouraging words. You don't feel uplifted. You feel like somebody's beating you down. You feel like you're never good enough. That's a lot of people. So when I encounter people, like, people go through enough with feeling beat down by people. I don't need to be an additional person to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say those nice, encouraging words that you need to hear because I know it can make a difference. Words are powerful. Words are powerful. We have to be mindful of the words we speak. So I'm mindful of the words that I speak as I come out here and I talk to you all and the people who I encounter. I want you to walk away feeling better than you did before you encountered me. I want you to walk away with a smile on your face, a laughter in your heart. You all may hear me say the craziest, the darnest things, but I mean well, because it's centered around how I want you to feel. I want you to walk away feeling uplifted, happy. I want you to feel like things aren't doom and gloom. Like, okay, wow, things are bad, but she painted a picture to where, okay, I can see how it probably can get better. She made me just laugh for a minute because I've been crying all day. I was feeling bad. I came across her channel. She said something crazy and I fell out. I know I do that. I can't help myself. I can't help it, y'all. You don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. It's just me. It's just me. But it's all centered around, I want people to feel good when they encounter me. I don't want you feeling bad or depressed or down. That's just not what I want. And if anyone has ever felt worse encountering me, like, that's not my intent. And I apologize for that because it's not my intent. I want you to feel good. I want you to feel warm and fuzzy inside, when you encounter me. So that's what it's about. Ivan says, just tell them to suck it up. We all have problems. Remember, here in America, the poorest person lives better than most people in other countries. Lauren says, peace, love, and light to all from Australia. Welcome, Lawrence. Welcome. Welcome, Joshua. Black Queen says, wow, been here 5 minutes trying to figure out what you're talking about. Is the subject mental health? Here's the thing. Welcome, Black Queen. The subject is not, well, if you looked at the title of the video, this live been going on now for 172 minutes. So it was about just the state of just our economy, the U.S., immigration, the things that's going on with immigration, the tariffs. And then I eventually started talking about mental health because a lot of what's going on, it has impacted people's mental health. People can't pay their bills. Why? Because they don't have jobs or their hours have gotten cut. People can't put food on the table. People feel like their Social Security checks that they're collecting, it's not enough. I just read off probably before you joined this live, the average American collects less than $2,000 in Social Security money. Who can live off of that? That's not enough. To rent costs more than that. And we all know it costs, you got to pay more than rent to live. So I always insert mental health in anything that I talk about, because cause and effect, everything is going to have some type of impact on you in some type of way. It's going to impact you. So you got to figure out a way to find balance with everything that's going on. You have to try to be cognizant of the state of your mental health, and be aware, and to acknowledge when you know you're not in a good place mentally and emotionally, psychologically. Like, you're the first one to know that. You have to be real with that, meaning you have to talk to people. You got to say, hey, I'm not doing well right now. This is too much. It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much. I can't do it. It's okay to say that. It is okay to say that. It's okay to say that. There are a lot of people who are trying to deal with a lot of what's going on by themselves, and they're not talking to anyone to share how hard things are. And like you said, Ivan, it is life. It's tough. Poor people living better than some people in other countries, but at the same time, we still are human, and we still have emotions and feelings. So it's not just simple as you'll be all right. When someone's struggling with depression, you'll be all right. That's not the prescription. It's not that simple, because let me just let you all know, anyone who ever chooses to off themselves, they struggle. When they were here, they struggled with depression, and you may not even know that, because that's one of the side effects of depression. It leads to suicidal ideation. That's what it's called. Suicidal ideation. That's why it's important for people to talk about what they're going through. So we can't be so dismissive to certain people or make certain comments, because let's just say somebody who is going through something and they take notice and they hear like, well, Ivan don't care. He just said whatever. They're not going to feel like they can talk to you, because they're going to feel like you're going to dismiss them and discount their emotions. They just going to feel like, okay, well, I don't have anybody to talk to. I got to deal with it all on my own, and it becomes too heavy for them. And next thing you know, we're reading about them. We're reading about them. So we just got to be careful with, what they say is not what you say, is how you say it. A lot of times, just even in my conversations, or when I'm talking to people who are going through it, it's not so blunt on you'll be all right. I'm listening to, okay, what the struggle is. And I'm helping them to understand that, hey, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You can get through this. Let's talk about how you can get through it. I want to show that, hey, I hear you. I hear that right now. You feeling it. Like, you feeling like life just beating you down. You feeling it. Let's talk through this. You're not alone. Let's talk through this. Let's talk through this. So, but, I'm a person, I'm a communicator, so that, something like that isn't hard for me to do, but I understand for everybody's not like that. That's why I say, journaling is a great way to express yourself, where you can get it out, put it on paper. If you don't have anybody you feel like you can talk to, get your little notebook and you can write it out. Coloring books, if you just want to just be creative, get you some color pencils, some markers, and just, start just playing around with the different colors. Utilizing that as a way to clear your mind, because it's not something that requires you to have to really go deep in thought. Maybe the deepest thoughts you're going to have is what color you about to make this flower. Because the two coloring books I have one that's all these beautiful flowers. So each page is a flower. So it'll be a full page of just a beautiful flower, and you bring it to life with whatever colors you choose to. And then I have a second coloring book that's centered around the jungle animals. So each page has an animal that you would find in a jungle, in a zoo. So it was really fun creating those coloring books. I I would say, they were the most challenging, of course, out of all the products that I created. But I had to be more creative, with creating those projects. But it was just therapeutic for me to just even create those projects, because doing so had me to not even think about anything else that was going on in the world. My day job, content creation, what's going on with the kids. My thought was, okay, what flower am I going to choose? What animal am I going to choose? What would the consumer, which animals would the consumer like, this one or that one? What page should I put it on? How should I make the cover page? That was as deep as thoughts that I got when it came to creating the coloring books. And I so enjoyed it. That's why I hope you all enjoy it. And those color books, I think I have them at $7.99. They're on Amazon. So if you have Prime, you'll get them delivered to you very quickly. But definitely check out the coloring books. Drop a review. Let me know what you think. Share them with your loved ones. And yeah, I appreciate it. Ivan says, light at the end of the tunnel can only be achieved by hard work and staying focused on the goal and getting better. Something as simple as getting up and going for a 30-minute walk will help with depression. Bet. I agree. I used to do content centered around, so on my other channel, remember I told you I have a bigger channel, Chic Speaks. It's just Chic Speaks. You'll find it out there. But I used to do, last year, I would do live fitness workouts centered around that, because it can help with mental health, just getting up and moving. A lot of the people, the vast majority of people who are overweight, guess what? They struggle with depression. If you've let yourself go and your body ain't giving what you wanted to give, I challenge you to tap into your mental health. Be real with yourself. Mentally, are you really good? Are you good? Are you good? Because a lot of people who aren't at a healthy weight, mentally, they're not good. They're struggling. So therefore they're eating. A lot of people, most people I've heard who are overweight, they talk about managing their emotions through food. I find too, so you got two types of people, what I've come to find. You have people who, when they're going get tough and they're going through it, they eat. And then you have the people, when the going get tough, they going through it, they don't eat. And how I can always tell which one you are is based off of how you look. Because the ones who are naturally small and skinny, they don't eat. That's me. I don't eat. I don't have an appetite when I'm going through it. I've met other people like me. They're the smaller frame people. And I don't feel like you pick or choose one. It's just which one, with the way you respond, just how your body responds to stress. So then the people who I've come to meet who are overweight, guess what? They say when the going gets tough, they eat. So I'm looking at them wondering how you got an appetite when you're going through it. You going through all that? How can you even think about food? Whereas they're looking at me like, how do you not want to just go ham on the box of donuts and the ice cream? How do you not want to eat? You see, it's different. It's so different. So that's how I've come to see. So I ask you, which one are you? When the going get tough, do you eat? When the going get tough, do you not eat? Either way, both got to be balanced, because you can be at a unhealthy weight and be underweight. You can be at an unhealthy weight and be overweight. But walking is very good for stress management. Very good. Walking, drinking water, getting enough sleep. A lot of times people would ask me on my other channel, Chic, how do you do it? How do you look this way? How do you look that way? It's my lifestyle. I'm very active. I would do all the time walking talks and stuff. Sometimes on this channel, you all have seen me do it. I'm very active. This ain't no Beyonce, I woke up like this. This isn't intentional, me getting to it. Me walking, doing exercise. If I'm not doing workout exercises, I'm walking. But guess what? I'm moving. I'm not just sitting. You got to get up. You got to move. That message is for man or woman. You got to move. Even a child, a teenager, you got to move. Find a sport to become active in if you don't want to intentionally just go walk for the heck of it. Play tennis. Do pickleball. Play tennis. Go play golf. Do something that has you to move, to get steps in. That's going to be the key. It's a lifestyle. What I do is a lifestyle. It's not no one and done. It's a lifestyle. What they say, you get what you put into it. So it's effort. I put effort into just everything. I put effort. I'm moving. Y'all see me sometime. How many of y'all have seen some of my walk and talks? This was supposed to be a walk and talk, but I had so many notes that I had a lot of notes, things that I want to talk to you all about. And it's hard when I'm walking to, I got to rely more on memory. And I didn't really want to miss anything because I talked about a lot of stuff in this live. So if you all, some of you came late, because I know it's thousands of people that have likely came in because my numbers be crazy. Be a part of the replay game. Go back and see, listen to this live again. Do the replay. Be a part of the replay game. I shared a lot of information, and it was important for me to get that out versus like me trying to walk and talk to you all. So yeah, get into it. Kevin T. says the poorest person in USA. That's not true anymore. We live like poor people all around the world. Okay, Kevin. Kevin says she right. Move. You gotta move it. Move it. Yeah, you gotta move. This ain't no Beyonce, y'all. I'm very intentional. Like, listen, I'm 130 pounds, 5'3.5", but like I work at this 3 kids, age 20, 16, 15. I'm very active. I live an active life, but it's because I choose to want to show up in the way in which I do. So we all have a choice. How do you want to show up to the world? Like, I got a choice. You got a choice. You guys are just looking at the choices that I made. I choose to show up the way I do. So how do you choose to show up? Because I can't tell you how to show up. You can't tell me how to show up. What makes you feel good? If you're not feeling good about your life, how you looking or whatever, guess what? You got the responsibility to do something about it. Only you can do it. I can't do nothing. I can say encouraging words to motivate you, but at the end of the day, you gotta put the work in. I gotta put the work in. I want to grow a YouTube channel. I'm do 2-3 hour live streams. Y'all, I'm putting the work in because it's like I have goals and I got to get to it. It's just not going to happen overnight. You all, I've been doing content creation since 2020. This not no overnight. Most of your favorite content creators, and y'all see them getting to it and they got crazy views, and you know, you feel like, you know, they making a lot of money. Some of them talk about the money they make. These people have been at it for years, far longer than me. 5, 10, 50, like they've been around for a long time. And they started popping maybe some years back. They just kept to it. This channel, I started this probably in September, August, September, this channel right here. But my other channel, I started in 2020. So I've been working, you know, it's trial and error. You're just trying to figure it out. And right now, politics has my attention. It's kind of hard for me to talk about other things right now because you all, it has my attention so much to where everything else is just not important to me. It's hard for me to talk about anything else like celebrity gossip and all of that because it's just like, who cares? Like, what? Like, us regular people, like we matter. Like, I don't care about these celebrities fighting in the ladies' room. You know, I just don't care about stuff like that. I care about what's going on with the regular everyday people whose lives look like mine. Like, we trying to survive out here. F Hollywood. Who cares about Hollywood? Who cares? Who cares? So I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Maybe one day I'm going to care enough to put out a video. So if I do talk about something outside of politics, it'll be on my other channel. You can follow me on Chic Speaks. That's typically like my mental health fitness channel. I haven't done anything fitness related since last year. So, yeah, follow me over there. Not sure what I'm going to do over there, but it won't be, it's politics over there. It'll be something different. So if you have other interests centered around like mental health and things like that, you can definitely follow me on Chic Speaks. Thank you, Virtuous. She just dropped the link from my other channel. That's, I used to call it my main channel. That's not even the word anymore because this channel have grown too. So that's just my other channel. It's not even my main channel anymore. It's just my other channel. But it's what I do. I come out here, I talk my talk, and I mean well, regardless of how I say it. I promise I mean well. I do mean well, and I do care about each and every one of you who come over here and who want to talk about your experiences with what's been going on. I don't want to discount anyone's feelings, anyone's experiences. I don't want to discount anyone's experiences. I want this to be a safe place where you can talk about like what you're going through, because people are really going through it. I get it. I see it up and down my feed, my recommendations. Like it looks like it's doom and gloom. It really looks doom and gloom, but I don't feel like I come out here and kick it that way. But like y'all, like we got, Trump definitely got his work cut out for him with getting us on a good foot. He do. May the Lord be with him, but I have faith he gonna figure it out, with or without Elon. I have faith he gonna figure it out with or without the support of Canada. He'll figure it out. He's our president. I feel like he'll figure it out. And even if he can't resolve everything, I feel like after it's all said and done, we will be in a better place than what we were when he inherited the nonsense. I feel like, yeah, by the time he's heading out, we'll be better. We'll be better than where we are today. We'll be better than where we are today. And I feel like in like 2 years, even with what's been taking place today, we'll be able to feel it and be like, okay, things aren't that bad like I thought it was. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty decent. Like I really feel like in 2 years is where we're gonna really, really feel like on much higher levels the impact of, because we're feeling things now, but I feel like in 2 years, that's when we'll really feel the full impact, because the newness, it won't be new anymore. He'll be kind of like midway through everything, and what they say, the dust will settle. I think we'll be able to be like, okay, I understand now. 2 years ago, I'm like, but now I'm like, okay, I get it. Okay, I was mad when you did that, but okay, I see why you did that. I'm kind of glad you did that. I feel like it's going to be more people talking like that in like 2 years, by like the end of like 26, going into 27. That's my prediction. And y'all know I'm going to be out here talking about it, because for this channel, I was trying to figure out the way to separate this channel from my other one, my larger one. And this will be my political channel. I still prefer now. I still like the name Sheik Speaks on it. Because listen, y'all just know if something going down, y'all be like, ooh, Sheik gonna speak on it. Sheik gonna speak on it. So this is Sheik Speaks on it, because I speak on it. I speak on what's going on. So I think it's the perfect name for what it is that I do. So if you are ever interested in wanting to know my take on like big stuff, like definitely make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because 9 times out of 10, I am going to come and talk about it. And if you haven't heard from me on a particular topic, get into one of my videos, and drop a comment to get my attention and be like, hey, what's up, Sheik? What's going on? Can you come out and speak on this? You can do that as well. Just, because I see my comments. I love to read comments. So drop a comment. I'll see it, and, I'll respond and, let you know, my thoughts, or if I'm going to do a live to talk about it. Because it's so much. I do the best I can to keep up with what's going on. And I can't even possibly talk about everything, you all, because it's so much going on. Let me see. Garbunkle said, we'll be better when he's gone. I agree. Angel West said, right. So time will tell. Hashtag let him cook. Hashtag let him cook. He said it ain't been even 90 days. I think today I saw he's been in there 68 days. 68 days as of today. So we still early. We're not even the first 90 days. Normally they talk about the first 100 days. You all imagine what that press conference is going to be like, to talk about the first 100 days when we're here just in under 90 days. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy, yo. It's insane. But listen, started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. We're here. Better days. My prayers are for better days. And that's all we can do, is be lifted in prayer. We just have to pray for better days for our nation, for the world, for that day where we can just all be on one accord and just work together. For that day where each of the countries can kind of stand on their own more. Because Trump is like, listen, we're tired. I'm tired of having to hold everyone up and be the one. Hell, that's what we got this debt. Like, we're always paying out money and we don't get that equal amount of money coming in. So we're tired of being Captain Save a Hole for like everybody. Like I'm done. Like those days are over with. And I get it, because imagine just you being that person. Some of you may can experience it, may have experienced it, where you're the savior and people always come to you for rescuing, and you ain't got nobody else you can turn to. But when they going through it, they got you. But who do you got? You like, I ain't got nobody. But but all these people got me. Like, that's the thing, as I talk about mental health, that way on people, because a lot of people feel like I don't have nobody, but I'm that person that everybody got when they in need. But when I'm going through it, I ain't got nobody. That's why we have to be sensitive to what's going on with people, because the strongest person, the person who looks like the biggest and the strongest in the room, can really be emotionally and psychologically the weakest. But they ain't let nobody know, because they trying to put on the strong face, because they the pillar with they the matriarch of the family. They're the ones who's expected, because they the oldest maybe. How many of you the oldest? You're that one that everybody looks to keep everybody together. Or maybe you the one that everybody look to. You got the most money, so people look for you to be the one. Okay, if somebody passed away, you pay for the funeral. Somebody car break down, so, you pay for the car to get fixed. Somebody behind on their bills, they mortgage, they rent, you pay for it. How many of you all are that person? Or how many of you all are that person to where you got somebody to where you turn to when your life is in shambles? Stop and think about what's going on with that person who you always turn into. Have you stopped to check in with them lately to see if they good? To see that, even say financially, if you see they still working and getting to the money, but psychologically, mentally, emotionally, are they still good? Have you stopped to check in? Or have you just still been doing, what you normally do, is holding your hand out, asking for some money, a Cash App, a Zelle? Check in with your people. Don't only just be reaching out when you need something. Because guess what? These people who you reaching out when you need something, they human too. And they in their feelings about that. They feeling a way about that, even if they haven't said it. And sometimes the ones that do say it, they spaz out and they break. And they let you have. They let everybody. They let the whole family have it. How many times y'all have seen people cut up at weddings, funerals, birthday parties? They done flipped the table over, because finally it all just kind of came out. You got to check in with your people. You can't assume that they're doing good because they still got that house, that big house. They still got the car. You can't assume. You got to ask, check in, and be sincere about it. Be sincere about it. Say, yo, like, what's going on? They might be surprised with you reaching out, and it ain't because you need some money. You might catch them off guard because they used to you only reaching out when you need something. Surprise them, just to be like, no, I don't need anything. I just want to see how you doing, how you living, how you feeling. Make that the new norm. So therefore, whenever they hear from you, they're not automatically assuming that they're hearing from you because your hand is out, because you are in need. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Do not be that person. Don't be that person. That's a selfish person. That's a narcissistic person. Those are the people I say that don't know how to read the room, because they so caught up in themselves and what their needs are, to where they have ignored what's going on around them. They ain't even paid attention to that person who they begging from, not been in a good place. That even though they got their job, they ain't even stopped to acknowledge the fact that maybe their relationship just ended. They going through a divorce, so they going through it mentally, emotionally. But you just worried about trying to get some money from them, because they got it financially, their money's still there. But just because somebody's bank account is giving, it doesn't mean psychologically and emotionally that they're giving. You know what I'm saying? Listen, one thing ain't synonymous to the other. Just because somebody getting to the money, that don't have nothing to do with what's going on here or what's going on here. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. How many of y'all have memories of maybe making an X amount of money, a lot of money, but then you was going through it. You just wasn't in a good place. Some of y'all probably got memories of probably been emotionally been in a better place back when you had less money. Because folks wasn't even asking you for stuff all the time. You were like, man, I remember when I was grinding out, I actually felt happier when I was grinding out, because people wasn't looking at me as already having it. They was looking at me kind of like them with trying to get to it. So don't think that somebody, just because they get into the money, that they're all good. That is, you got to ask them. You got to stop and you got to ask them. Show interest. The wall sucker said that's absolutely true. It's lonely at the top. It becomes lonely at the top because you start to feel like you're an ATM. You start to feel like that people don't really see you. They see your bank account. They see what you can give them. And then you're in this place to where it's like, well, if I say no, they're going to say that I changed, I switched on them, that I don't care. They're going to badmouth me to everyone else. And that's what happens. Those same people that you said yes to 10 times, you tell them no one time, they done forgot all them 10 times you said yes. Those are the narcissistic people. The people who expect for you to always say yes. The people who feel like because you got it, I mean I got it. We got it. That's not fair. Because put yourself in that situation. Would you want someone to treat you like that? Because that's the quickest way for you not to have it at all. Everybody now broke again because you done gave it all away. It's nothing wrong with helping your people out. But you have to have limits. You got to put a cap. It has to be boundaries because guess what? You can find yourself without again. Many people at the top find it to be very lonely. They found that they had better relationships when they didn't have. When they was maybe single, not in a relationship. When they didn't have the fat bank account, wouldn't get to the money. When they didn't have a nice car. When they was broke and destitute like the rest. They felt like people treated them better. Like people respected them better because people viewed them as being the same. But now when these people now have more, people view them as being different. And they view them as being someone who owes them something. It's not fair and it's not something I wish on anyone. So don't be that person that you got somebody out here feeling that way. And if you are that person that feels that way, you need to communicate that out to people. Remind them that you are human too. You let them know that you mean that. And when you give to them, you let them know, listen, I'm feeling used. I'm not doing it anymore. And you stand on that. Because what I live by, I can show you better than I can tell you. And that's what you got to do. You got to show people. You got to teach people how to treat you. So they know, okay, they can't look at you as just as a walking ATM machine. So just be mindful of how you treat people. We'll say that. Let's be mindful with how you treat people. If you haven't liked the video, please like the video, like, share, subscribe. We are all living in history. We're all in a moment to where these are times that many of us probably couldn't even have predicted. And some of us probably did, but I think most of us didn't. We are living in different times. And if we're fortunate enough to live long enough, we'll be able to talk about it with future generations, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. But I have faith in our country that we are working towards better days. And I'm going to continue to move in faith and not by sight. And that's on that. So like, share, and subscribe. I tend to just go live. I don't really schedule videos anymore. I just kind of pop out. Just works for me right now. So just make sure you have the notification bell on so you know when I pop out on you. But if you don't catch the live, that's fine too. Be a part of the replay game. But I like to say you all go onto the world and show up in a way in which you want others to show up for you. Meaning like attracts like. So be that light. Be that energy. Give off good juju. All of that. All of that. We are energetic people. We are energy. We are energy. Do unto others as you want done unto you. How about that? How about that? Each one teach one. How about that? We are the honor students over here. If you are a subscriber of my channel, you are an honor student. We are the honor students over here. That has been my brand since between my two channels because it's about elevating. We are the honor students. We elevate over here. We ask questions. We seek out answers. We're open to learning. And that's on that. And that's what smart people do. Smart people ask questions. Smart people will do their research. Smart people are open-minded. All of that. And judgmental, it's we all can be judgmental, but that's centered around in opinions. We all have an opinion. We all have an opinion. So it's just really coming down to how you deliver it. It's not what you say, it's how you do it. How are you delivering your opinion? Are you trying to force it on people, force it down people's throats? No, that's the sure way to turn people off. No. You say what your stance is, and you say that's on that. You don't try to force someone else to take on the stance. That's not what you're going to get over here. I'm going to share my thoughts and beliefs on whatever's going on, but what you're not going to get is for me to tell you what you need to be doing. I don't do that here. I encourage for you to seek out for yourself, to ask questions, to do your research, and to be open-minded. That is what you get from over here. So if you're here for any of that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and we going to together make it do what it do. It's only up from here. We going to talk about it. We talk about it over here in a way that no one else talks about it. That's why the views be crazy. I don't see anyone's lives who talk about this stuff be looking like this. And you all like these numbers was numbering when I was under 1,000. So that just means that people got ish to say. People got stuff to say. People not trying to be censored. And people not trying to fight and tussle with folks either. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. No, we ain't got time for that. So this is the place where you can come over here and talk your talk, because it's like, I promise you, it's like no other. This is Sheik's way. Sheik's corner. Sheik speaks on it. Period. Sheik speaks on it. That is the name of this channel. Sheik speaks on it. It is what it is. We don't come to play over here. We come to educate. We come to educate. I want you all to be safe out there. Take care of yourselves and one another. Heavy on taking care of yourself. Because so often we taking care of everybody but neglecting ourselves. And that includes our mental health, our bodies. We got these kids that, man, they all taking care of, looking good, and then we just letting ourselves go. Nuh-uh. Take care of home first. This is home, because if you're not good, if mama not good, daddy not good, nobody's good. So always remember, you got to take care of home first. Whenever I say home, that is this. That's you. That's your vessel. You take care of that first. Just like on the plane when they say put your mask on, then you put your baby's mask on. But you got to take care of you first. It's the same thing. Take care of yourself. Make sure you're good, so therefore you can make sure everybody else is good around you. On that note, I want you all to have a wonderful evening. Like the video. On your way out, you can double tap. Feel free to send a super chat with a comment. I still see those as well. If you catch the replay, sometimes people will send super chats on the replay. That's perfectly fine. You can do it anytime. But I appreciate a simple like. Subscribe. We're growing. I'm just a small content creator that's out here just trying to make a difference, just like the next person, or how the next person should be doing. Listen, we all got to do our part. I'm out here doing my part. So I thank each and every one of you. Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful night. Peace. And I'm out.